It's time to hang it up. Right? I will say, her character is the only character in the movie that I'm like, they didn't really give her that much to work with. Like, she's just a plot device
Yeah,
in this movie.
for
I
sure.
think her character was
For sure.
only one.
Yeah.
Now the rest of these performances are like, you did a great job. I loved you.
Right.
You were awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
Come get your baddie
The
chain.
bottom two is, hmm?
Come get your baddie chain, yo.
Yeah, facts. Come get your baddie chain. Zendaya, you know, you were
Amazing.
great. You were great
Yo,
in the
hold on,
few
pause.
scenes that you had. You were great.
Can we talk about how Zendaya's role in the Odyssey was her exact role in Dune 1?
It's the same character.
It's the same character. She just aura farmed the entire time and had like a couple of lines, yo. Like what?
Yeah.
Like honestly, there has been a sick conversation online that like, oh, I don't know why people keep casting Zendaya. She don't know how to act, and that's not true. She's just had two very big
She
roles
might
where
not
she did the
know how to
exact same
act.
thing. But if you go watch Malcolm and Marie, if you go watch the drama, if you go watch Challengers, she's cooking. So we gotta dead that conversation now, yo.
She's
Oh,
the
just
only
because
reason
she
Euphoria is watchable.
exactly, and she's cooking in Spider Man. Just because Odyssey and
Yeah.
Doom were like the same thing, yo. We don't have to fry Zendaya, y'all. Relax.
I don't know. We could fry Zendaya.
Nah, but I got
don't really give a
Zendaya
fuck.
there. I think she was great, especially that final, the sacking of Troy scene. Just
Yes.
beautiful scene, beautiful from Zendaya. Above Zendaya, I got Tom. I think Tom, like, I think in this movie, because people have been, I think people have been underrating Tom as an actor because some of the movies that he's in are not very good, and plus he's in like the MCU, so you know whatever people say, like you're in the MCU, you're not really a real actor, you know, kind of thing. But I think that in this movie, he really like showed his chops and showed that he can go band for band with some like generational actors. Now those generational actors kind of washed him, but it's literally only because of the fact that they're generational. And like he's like a really good actor. He's stamped for me. Tom is stamped. Um so I got Tom there, and then I got everybody that you mentioned. Joe, Himesh, oh my god, Pat, and
Oh yeah, I forgot. How did I forget about Robert Pattinson, bro?
he was fantastic.
Bro, he was amazing. I don't know how I forgot about him.
Yeah, he was amazing in this movie. But actually, no, I messed up. I got okay. So Pat, Matt, and then I have Anne Hathaway as the best actor in this movie. I think
Really?
every single scene she is
You know what I think
dominating
it
the
is?
court, putting up triple doubles.
You know what I think it is? I think to me, Matt was the better performer, but I think the way that the movie was set up in the script, like Nolan was throwing Anne Hathaway alley oops, and like
Yeah,
she was just dunking them down. So I think like
every
I'm
single
not mad at you saying that like Anne Hathaway was the best performance because I think
Hey,
the
what up,
movie
Edge?
set her up so that her scenes could really hit because
Thank you
she
for
had
coming to
to
hang out.
like she's this wife like her home is being ransacked by strangers. She's waiting on her husband. Like every scene needs to hit. But to me, bro, I'm sticking with Matt Damon as number one. He cooked.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
which is completely fine. Like it's literally the performances in this movie are so good. It's like if you say that Matt Damon is the best in the movie, that I'm completely fine with that. I'm not even going to hate on
Yeah.
that because he does give a fantastic performance. And shout out, I didn't even mention her because I forgot about her. But shout out to the woman that played Cersei. Great,
Oh
great.
yeah,
And
Cersei was great.
Elliot Page, great.
Oh,
You know,
amazing. Yeah, Elliot
Have you
Page,
seen
bro.
Edge? Have you seen the Odyssey? Did you go see it this weekend? You don't have. I mean, look, spoilers for a story that's 3,000 years old, but like it was really good. I had no expectations going in. My trailer reaction was like, "This is whatever. I don't care." Christopher Nolan sniffing his own farts. What's up, Natch? But you know what? The last couple weeks of the hype, everybody's saying it's good. The movie's amazing. It's so good. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go see it. And fuck, dude, if I wasn't immediately captivated and like was totally into it, I'm watching reviews right now.
The whole classic literature. It is horrible. I don't recommend. The cast is terrible. The cinematography looks cliche, just a waste of money and time. Honestly, as a Nolan fan, I expected a masterpiece, but this is just a very weak work, and I'm still shocked. My mind was constantly comparing it to the older classics, and as a modern movie with all the new technologies, I expected it to be better than this. Some parts were too boring that I was about to fall asleep. The acting was mechanical in many scenes, as if I was watching a movie made by AI,
Interesting.
not made by Nolan. I mean, come on. I was so excited at first, but too disappointed now.
Yo, these bad reviews be sounding like they written by bots.
That's a crazy review because I'm like, it's got good reviews. See it when it's cheap. Word. I feel you. Um, some of the cinematography, like, especially at the end, I'm like, this feels like the third act of Batman Dark Knight Rises, where like Bane and Batman are fighting in front of the bank and all the extras, the cops and the goons are fighting around. I'm like, all right, you could have done a little more focus here, Chris, but the fact that there's real boats on real oceans with real beaches and real deserts, you can't beat real locations, and it sucks that you have to be someone with as much clout as Nolan to tell a studio, hey, I'm using real locations. And they go, okay, Chris, instead of fuck you, you're using the goddamn volume. You're using the goddamn green screens. How Matt Damon in it? I'll tell you this. All these celebrities in this movie. First 20 minutes, I'm like, Matt Damon. John Leguizamo, The Pest, Catwoman, Batman, Spider-Man. 20 minutes, I'm in. I'm in. I'm reminded that I like the story of the Odyssey. I forgot how much I enjoyed it as a kid. I mentioned in my review, but I almost went to Ithaca College and was like excited to try and get into Ithaca College because Ithaca was named in the Odyssey. I forgot how much I liked the Odyssey until I was watching this movie. And then I was just enjoying reliving the Odyssey. It was really good. Even Tenet has an issue with the last battle. I haven't seen Tenet. But that's interesting to note. Yeah, it seemed... there's fantastical elements. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed those. Maybe you could have made them a little more fantastical. You know, the gods showing up, the creature designs, whatnot. But I thought it was fine. It looked cool. And my thumbnail, I'm really proud of that thumbnail. I'll show you.
In such a disingenuous way that it's
This
like
is
reading
the
your reviews.
this is the entire
This is an amazing film.
entire
It's a
movie.
great film.
Where he's like, I have an idea.
Anyways, final
Oh.
thoughts. The Odyssey.
I have an
Tell me,
idea.
bro.
And then his men are like, shit, here we
Nolan,
go again.
I want you to do more period pieces. I want more
Ew, no.
in the old times. I need that. I need like a. I actually was tweeting about this. You might have seen my tweets because I was going a little bit crazy. I was going insane. I kind of want Nolan to do like a Bible epic, like the story of Jonah. I think that would be crazy. I think
That'd
that
be
would
cool.
be crazy. It actually reminded me of that one film that came out I think it was like 2015. It was called Noah. It was like some guy tried to do like Nolan style
Yeah.
Bible stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it sucked.
Yeah, they did Noah with Russell Crowe. What game should I play today? Should I continue GTA? Because Natch is here. Natch, would you like some more GTA? They do show a little bit of like the sacking of Troy and the Trojan horse and whatnot. Like that, the Trojan horse is very important to the narrative here. They show a little bit. But if you're looking for like Hector and Paris and Achilles and all that, like not really, no. It's more what's the dude's name? They show how far did you get? I'll show you. Hang on. Let's
try to go watch it. If you don't watch it, you're a loser. And if you do watch it and you hate it, you're also a loser.
Yep.
What else would make you a loser? Oh yeah, not being in awe of the artistic liberations that he took, not being in awe of some of the way that he portrayed the Cyclops, the way that he portrayed just like the sea voyage, the scene with the witch woman that turned all of his men into pigs, like the way that he was able to weave all of those
Yeah,
together,
that was some
and he
horror. They did some
genuinely
horror
made a
films in
three
here.
hour film feel like 90 minutes. There was not one
Yep.
time where I watched a film where I felt like
I'll tell you this. I definitely was like drifting in and out. I was not drifting in and out of sleep. I felt myself starting to nod off because I took some fucking edible. So I was like, okay. But I resisted. I resisted falling asleep. Whereas when I went to go see The Mandalorian and Grogu, super didn't care if I fell asleep. Super didn't care. Hey. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, I even said in my review, I am not a Nolan stan. I went to film school, but I am not one of those people who worship Christopher Nolan or Quentin Tarantino. What up, Pinker? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. We're just talking a little bit Odyssey. Have you seen the Odyssey? I'm not spoiling anything.
we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, yo. We're trying to get monetized. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're trying to make sure that PCC can help us pay the bills so we can continue talking to y'all about movies. And you subscribing, you liking, you leaving comments helps us do that. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're sharing with your friends.
All right, what up? Post-credit clarity. Yeah. All right. I still haven't seen Obsession yet. Still haven't seen Obsession yet. Fell asleep during the Avengers, but I had two babies at the time and I was tired. Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, that's cool. All right, cool channel. Subscribe. There you go. What are we watching? So look, Avengers Doomsday trailer came out earlier. I saw it posted in a thingamabob. So I made a reaction right away. Are we watching Majority Report?
Exactly. It frees up.
Sure. Why not?
Whether you're a
It looks fine. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really was hoping that Spider-Man next week is going to be like a Spider-Man movie. And the more I see of Doomsday, the more I'm like, this is just going to be the lead-in to Doomsday. Like Black Panther was. Black Panther and Captain Marvel, both those movies were just precursors to the Avengers movie. You're rewatching HBO's Rome, damn good series, definitely recommend. Oh, okay. I need some more Odyssey fix, so I might watch that. Like, dude, I was not I went to the movie fully expecting to be miserable for 3 hours, and just gonna go just to see it. So when I come home and I make a video shitting on it, I know exactly what I'm shitting on. But goddamn, if I didn't enjoy myself. So, I really enjoyed the movie. And I knew I enjoyed it because when I got home, I was like, I could watch it again right now. I could watch 3 hours of that again right now. I think so much of it, and I forgot to fucking say this in my review, but so much of it is, I can tell that's a real boat. I can tell you're really on the ocean. I can tell that's a real beach, a real desert. These are real props. Like, so much of it was just the tactile feel of like, oh, that's real stuff. Not everything's CG. There's not a bunch of layers of like digital effects and VFX on it. And man, it just felt like we're on the ocean. We're on this journey with these characters. And it was funny. Again, my thumbnail of like, of Odysseus being like, I have an idea, and his men being like, oh shit, here we go again. That was the whole movie. It was funny in those moments. I'd say Anne Hathaway and Tom Holland were maybe like pretty weak. Charlize Theron wasn't in it enough to be weak. She was a plot device, like those dudes were saying. Lupita Nyong'o was fucking scene stealer in the fraction of a probably on screen for less than a minute total. But she was great. Elliot Page was great in the, again, like 2 minutes that he had on screen. And in the one moment where he had like a real impactful speech to give, did it great. I'm sorry I cannot see Elliot Page and not think Kitty Pryde, because that's the first thing I saw them in, the X-Men. But, it fit for this role, because the soldier's supposed to be like a scrawny little soldier, and he is a scrawny little dude, so. Robert Pattinson, I think, had the most fun making this, because he got to be a bad guy, and like a cruel, kind of unsympathetic bad guy. And it was just hamming it up, and I think he had a great time, and it came across like I had fun watching him. John Leguizamo was in this movie, and didn't need to be, because the role was for an old man, and you could have got any old man. You didn't need to put Leguizamo in old man makeup, but again, 2 minutes in, I'm like, I believe it. I don't care. I'm in. I believe this world. And that's what a movie gets you to do. What is happening here? Chris Pratt and Steve Curry?
Ideal celebrity spokespeople. A Pratt representative said,
let's see where
he was
we're
never
at. We're doing a
contacted.
big smoke
A
mission.
representative for Curry didn't respond, which I don't like to hear, because doesn't Curry have some involvement with an Israeli tech company?
He really does reuse a lot of actors. Literally everyone in this movie.
I don't know the details of that. I think Kevin Durant.
Was John Leguizamo in another Nolan movie?
Curry does have a weird Hebrew tattoo that also shows interest in Israel.
The Nation from March 2026. Why is Steph Curry investing in Israeli security tech?
Right.
Okay.
I did unlock the bingo, yes,
concerning
Snatch.
to me, especially because
I did have to
like
do a
Steph
main
Curry,
mission.
He also was involved in opposing a public housing development in his
That was like, you need to go get clothes.
Maybe I don't like him that much anymore.
The Warriors,
This is pretty bad.
There's some problems with the Golden State Warriors.
And I'm saving GTA 5 for when you're here. So we might do some of that today too. Go back and forth.
I like that they had a.
But I'm really
like
enjoying
that they
playing
had the
this
cherry
one.
on top. I do. But when I think about stuff like this is from Dave Zirin from The Nation.
I was young and
Draymond
pregnant around the
Green's
time
friends
Juno
on
came
IDF
out, so it was
trip to
important for
Israel,
me.
and there's Draymond.
Word.
Oh my god.
He would.
What is he shooting? What do you shoot? What are you putting? What's inside that scope, Draymond?
Shooting haters.
Like, and I
It's the
think
only thing he can shoot.
part of this is like, if I'm going to.
Weird basketball players. When Juno came out, one of my wife's favorite movies. It also set me off on a journey of weird music, so that was cool. Yeah, very, very indie film of the early 2000s. You know what? If you like Juno, I got a movie recommendation for you. Because this was described, when I saw a review of this, and I was like, I should watch this movie before finishing this review. The movie is called Dinner in America. It came out in 2020, so nobody knew it came out. Went straight to streaming services because it's not going to be in theaters, right? Starring Emily Skeggs. I think this is the only movie she's in, and Kyle Gallner. It's really, really good. If you like Juno, the review I saw was like, if this had come out around the time of Juno, 500 Days of Summer, Napoleon Dynamite, Little Miss Sunshine. This fits right in that era, and it's so good. It's just about. It's not like horrific or anything. It's called Dinner in America. Oh, I'm sorry. I forget that the screen's Dinner in America. A punk love story is how it's billed. And it very much is. It's literally about a punk dude in like any town, USA, kind of running into characters and hijinks ensue. Really, really recommend. Fantastic film. Yeah, what put me onto that? Oh, Juno. You said Juno. This is the first thing you saw Elliot Page in. Okay.
Is a big part of it, but
these aren't bots.
they're not. These people
These
are
are
not
real
bots.
people. They're
Yep.
just political.
Right, authentic. They got their talking points. Authentic.
Meghan McCain. said
SLC
it.
Punk and Make It Gen Z.
would-
I haven't seen
Meghan
that
McCain,
movie.
who's been doing Israeli apologia all
I
over
should.
her podcasts, I would guess that this is coming from some Israeli cutout, right?
She's also got balls of steel for standing by Israel innocent violent as in the authentic tweet.
Exactly right. That's so. Thank you for those authentic thoughts. And Meghan McCain's really growing on me right now. Yeah.
I'll just say, as far as how much money Zionists will spend, little parable. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Spend it all. You're fucked. It's over.
I'm sorry. I just didn't know where the hell you were going with Humpty Dumpty.
I guess anime is too mature for me.
Don't get me started on Mother
That's for
Teresa.
teenagers. I like pre-K literature.
Hi, Big
You
Smoke.
gotta dumb it down.
Come on, bro.
Well,
You
with
always
all
cause him
that
trouble.
said, here is Jake Tapper, who's totally, ideologically independent, asking Abdul.
Really frowning over the corpse of Humpty Dumpty.
Well, he's upset that in this
All right,
clip
Big
that
Smoke, you
Abdul
can't
Al-Sayed
run. You start
said that
shit, but
some
you can't
people
fucking
might be
finish it.
upset after Trump assassinated the head of state in Iran. And listen to how much editorializing and how leading this question is from Jake Tapper on the so-called objective mainstream news.
20 weeks ago, when Iran's supreme leader was killed, you told your
Hey.
staff, according to audio obtained by the Washington Free Beacon, quote, there are a lot of people in Dearborn
Pause
who are
it.
sad today. So
The
like I just don't want-"
Washington Free Beacon is a right-wing rag. I had forgotten that was the outlet that had basically someone recorded him saying that we should basically be sensitive after Trump launched this illegal criminal war on Iran.
Yeah,
we should
let me
be
get that
sensitive to
paper.
some
Let me
in
get
our
that
constituency
paper.
that may be sad about this. God forbid. Anyway, he said this privately as a method of campaign strategy. Do you think that they've probably also said the exact same stuff about criticism of the Israeli government, where it's like, we have Jewish constituents, we don't want to offend them in this way.
Oh, it is that
How
mission.
do we message about this? It's ridiculous. But
I didn't even notice.
On Khamenei.
Look how close I come to hitting cop cars all the
I
time.
go back a little.
Because staff, according to audio obtained by the Washington Free Beacon, quote, there are a lot of people in Dearborn who are sad today, so like I just don't want to comment
Yeah,
on Khamenei
Washington Free Beacon
at
is a
all.
fucking rag.
I thought that quote was interesting because the Ayatollah has killed tens of thousands of innocent Iranians, not to mention the proxies that Iran has.
Fuck
funded
Jake
for
Tapper,
innocent
bro.
civilians all over the Middle East. Why
All my
would we
homies
worry
hate Drake
about
Tapper.
offending people who support
Drake
the
Tapper.
Ayatollah?
Look at the Freudian slip there.
We're mourning the loss of 2 more service members in a war we never should have fought. I think all of us ought to step back and ask whether or not everybody in Michigan, frankly, everybody in America, shouldn't be sad
Alex is
about
also
the
on
fact
this
that
space
president,
via a clip from
backed
last
by
week.
the prime minister of a foreign government.
Oh, I am?
This
Sweet.
war, we had no business fighting it. So yeah, I didn't want to comment on it then because it's a ridiculous pretext. And now you're asking me about the Ayatollah, who's dead, by the way, and you're not asking me about the service members who've died. You're not asking me about whether or not this war should have ever been fought. You're not asking me about whether or not the costs that are being borne by Michiganders in the tax dollars we pay or the gas prices that are insane right now are worth it. And so, look, let's have a conversation based in Michigan. I'm running for Senate in Michigan. And I think here in Michigan, all of us are probably sad about the fact that we went to
Look
war
at his
we
sad
should have
face,
fought,
sad
rather
puppy
our
dog
money was
face.
spent here.
Jake Tapper. Poor Jake
I'm
Tapper.
asking you about comments you didn't want to make because you didn't want to offend people in Dearborn, which is in Michigan.
Yeah. Are you aware? I mean, God, the condescension. This is
Come on.
Tapper pretends to care about killing civilians and is the biggest Zionist in the world. This is just racism.
Tapper wanted him to celebrate the decapitation strike of a foreign head of state because Jake Tapper, his Zionist ideology, wants that head of state gone. Like, Netanyahu.
I think
Joe
that should
Biden,
be his name from now
responsible for a
on.
lot of
Drake
deaths,
Tapper.
putting a lot of military munitions in the air, missiles in the air, killed a lot of people. If they got, like, say Trump assassinated, like, the celebration of that violent act isn't really, like, appropriate either.
Right.
Like, yeah, we don't support a missile strike on a compound. By the way, this other things happened that day, and also, like, I mean, this is just fanatic. Jake Tapper and these Zionists are fanatics.
They absolutely are. And they pretend, what's amazing is they'll pretend like Abdullah al-Sayed is the one that, and we can take that down. Pretend like Abdullah al-Sayed and the left are the ones that are fixated on Israel. But he flips the question and in the right way, in the way that he responds. I'm focused on Michigan. What I really like what he's done is that he has reclaimed the America First thing from the right. This has been Abdul's, like,
Zoran did that too during the campaign. Why are you asking me if I'm going to take a fucking trip to Israel?
But I think it's even more pronounced with Abdul's campaign, and, you know, showing that I'm about serving people here. I want to reinvest. He's also at
it's
some
his
of
O
his
face.
a lot of foreign aid for Egypt, where my family is from, and so it's
what am I
a
going
question
here
of
for?
resources and priorities, and
Guns.
making that and foregrounding that I think is beneficial. Now, we'll see. This race, it's hard to tell. There have been some bad polling that has come out for Abdullah Sayed, showing how he's really fallen behind with black voters in some parts of the state. I don't know how much to believe because there was also a poll that just came out today showing that he's doing really well. So we don't know, and this is just like before August 4th, this is all hands on deck. If you're in Michigan, canvas, support this campaign. AIPAC is banking on now this campaign being, and this primary, being an example-setting exercise for anybody that chooses to support cutting aid to Israel. And they're going all hands on deck because a Senate seat like this is immensely important. And I also think that given their racism, they are threatened by the idea of a Muslim man also saying this incredibly forcefully in a state like Michigan. So this is the key race coming up. Although of course we have Cori Bush.
Where you at, sweet?
We have Parcel Gray. We have McKinney. I mean, but this is the Senate. This is the Senate, and this is immensely important.
Shout out Liz Warren, endorsed the bill.
Yes. I mean, God.
Am I shooting my own guys?
Look, Morrow apparently, worked on her campaign, so that was
What
what
is
that
happening?
It'd be
endorsement
nice
was
if
about.
Morrow
but-
would say something. I mean, not that it could help with where Abdullah said needs help.
Right. Well, she's not. You think she has 0%
0% Detroit.
with black voters. But I mean, and I'm sorry. All right, here's my last point on this.
He like
Obama
short
is
people because he
basically
can't get off without looking
soft-endorsing
down
Haley
on someone.
Stevens
That's
by
really
refusing
funny.
to disavow the cynical, disgusting usage of his past endorsement of her in a different race in ads that are run by AIPAC all across the state.
Sorry.
Making it seem like Obama is endorsing Haley Stevens.
All right,
Like,
so we don't
I just
need to go
hope
to Emmett's.
Right
We
now
just need
that
to get the
information
sweep.
economy is so like mistrusted, or that ads like that and people have such an understanding of how corrupt they are that it's so mistrusted that they actually look up the facts here. But this is the kind of cynical politics that wants you to be disempowered and misinformed. And it's a real shame that Obama hasn't distanced himself from it.
It's pathetic. And in terms of the politics that I care about, it seems kind of malicious.
Yep. All right, guys, gonna read some IMs and then we will get out of
That
here.
Doomsday trailer was alright.
Ad hominem. I was sad that day. Not
What a
because the
war.
Ayatollah
How
was
you
killed,
doing?
because I knew it meant thousands of innocent
We'll
people
see.
could die.
We'll see.
Yeah, like nobody cares about the Ayatollah, Jake.
Yeah.
Who gives a flying fuck?
Yeah.
Israel?
Yeah. For all the anime lovers out there, Hickory Dickory Dock. Jester Vaxing, Matt, what do you think of the Itsy Bitsy Spider? I thought it was a little problematic when they went back on the spout after everything they went through, but I don't know.
I mean, sort of a reason to Sisyphus.
What happened to growth? It could have been a tale of personal triumph over adversity, and you think they went back up the spout like nothing happened?
Right. Well, that's more about you right now. Not learning your lessons.
Shut up.
Down in the rain and watch the spider out.
No.
Out came the sun and another cat.
The sun is the Grand Platinum Revelations. Yeah, back up the spout I go. Also, I'm sorry, but Liz Warren.
Yeah, I don't know how Steve Rogers is going to come
I'm
back.
as a Warren defender, and is one of the only like actually effective progressive politicians on a federal level in my lifetime. I don't think her endorsement means anything in Michigan. Like literally not.
Like I look, they can drag. I was just talking to my friend about it on the phone, and he was like, it kind of does the comic book thing where it devalues their sacrifice or whatever. Like Superman died. Oh, that's a big deal. Then a couple years later, he's back alive, and then you keep doing that over and over, kind of devalues it, right? Sure, but I feel like if the last few years of Marvel movies weren't a disappointment for them box office wise, then they wouldn't do this. You know, they wouldn't bring back Steve Rogers or Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. He's doing a fucking Eastern European accent in the beginning of that trailer. I'm still hoping that it's not the real Victor Von Doom. That it's a variant and we get a different actor being Von Doom. I don't need more Tony Stark praise and glaze. Alex, pro tip, the game is coded in a way that the NPC aim is more accurate if the last vehicle you drove was a car. Interesting. Into
our politics in a long time.
I think they kind of get that.
Yeah.
I just got to get better at
I think
this.
that's why you see like progressive, like New Deal type of politics.
Oh my God. Literally, people run into the
All
street.
right, 5 more and then we'll get out of here. Jen from Tucson.
Generally speaking, I think voters like know something.
Yeah. Troy Jackson seems to be who we all wish Plattner had been, a man who had some conservative ideas on social issues combined with a more progressive economic ideology who over time expanded his solidarity to include more marginalized identities and specifically the barriers they face. Yes. Ruben Sheep's Clothing says, Emma, if we have age verification in classrooms, then we would have to address why we have super seniors and whether children were left behind. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Rory in Minnesota, geofencing is a marketing term. Basically means you can select a certain area and certain demographics to put out ads to oppose.
I may know too much about this game. Well, Natch, you are an expert. They wanted to make it easier for when you're on a bike. Yeah, well, it's fucking still difficult on a bike. Because if you touch something, you're flying off that bike.
Free press. I asked if they support democracy, why not the democratic rights of Palestinians? If they support law and order, why doesn't Israel respect the ICC or ICJ? If they support free press, why has Israel killed so many journalists? Why, while the Hasbara bots often respond, they have no response to any of that, of course. And the final IM of the day. Nines is political. Tim Miller, that ex-Bush comms guy, said on that same post when he got called out for it, he said, I'm on vacation. I never got paid to go touch grass. People shouldn't read a publication that likes Jared Davis. Yeah, I'm not saying that he got paid. That's how I wanted to specify. But you're on, I mean, it would be shocking if he wasn't on some sort of email blast that would make him say something very similar on social media that maybe people who are getting paid.
Yeah, no, like search your inbox for growing on me and see if anything comes up.
Yeah.
Forgot you can roll.
All right, guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow.
Gotcha.
I wasn't looking when I just got caught.
Why was our own dudes shooting at you? Boston Brian.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that.
He's
That
from
means-
Kyiv? What's he doing in Kyiv? Yo, y'all heard about Christina and Tom getting separated, by the way? Hold on. Keep it paused. I didn't think this would ever happen. Yeah, Loki was in the trailer too. Which means, look, Gambit is in the trailer. Gambit from the Deadpool Wolverine movie. So is Deadpool in this? Because also the TVA was in Deadpool. So like, are we gonna get Deadpool? Are we gonna get, Hugh Jackman Wolverine? One more time? One more ride? Again? Grand Designs, welcome, welcome. Abdul El Sayed is a physician. He is a doctor. Correct the record, sir. Opposition to proud Muslims taking office is a natural response to toxic group. No. It is racist. It is racist. He's been on the Divorce Dad Art for a while, let's be real. Who? Oh, Tom Segura? Yeah. Oh, let's see what Foreign had to say.
These inbred goats. Plan B surviving. Yam head reaction creators. Lord of his mercy, that's it. We're done. Yam head. A Caribbean phrase that roughly translates to dumbass. And reaction creator. It's an American term that roughly translates to. Yes, you guessed it. Dumb ass. You know Yam head creators. You all might watch TikTok, Twitch, Nebula. Yeah. What they do is they react to someone's original video. And all they do is this shit. What the hell is this?
Oh, that shit. Yeah, they can go fuck themselves. But like, I make reaction shit because I know it's slop. I am under no delusions. Absolutely. It is easy to make, quick to make. Look, the Avengers thing. I literally just popped it on. Here's my recording of it. Record it. Slap on my little devil's advocate symbol. Adjust the audio. Upload. Way less time than even the Odyssey review that I just did. I barely edited that. I put a little bit of backing music on it. Couple little graphics, a little bit of edit here and there, but like barely anything. My Superman videos, my video game reviews, those take time to edit. My Liza P video took fucking 5 hours. So yeah, why would I spend 5 hours editing something and put it on and it's not going to get as many views as the reaction to an album that gets 600 views? Maximizing my visibility. Exactly. And when I get to a point where I'm like, fingers crossed not work, I get to a point where I can make money off this, you better believe I'm going to take time and chop up all the streams that I have saved of Elden Ring. Warhite was there for those, guiding me through. Crimson Desert, Crash Bandicoot 4 from like 2017, 18, whenever that came out. My entire playthrough of that, I got lots and lots of full playthroughs that I've yet to edit into a video because that's hours and hours of footage I have to go through. And I'm not doing that right now. What up, John Lithium? What up, everybody? So yeah, eventually we'll get to that. But of course, I get it. And also, he's not talking about me. He's not talking about me. He's talking about the TikTok people where they're just like making faces. Yeah, that's fucking annoying.
Like imagine being the slur known as YouTuber. A slur that I can say, but I ain't giving none of y'all niggas this S card, so y'all can't say it. Imagine working tirelessly. I ain't seen my son in fucking weeks. Working tirelessly on your magnum opus. All for the ass that Jesus ride to Jerusalem on, to be in the bottom right-hand corner, doing the bare minimum. Lord, make the pain go away.
If you abolish reaction creators, what you're really doing is taking a job away from a good, hardworking thumbnail editor.
Yeah.
Our nation's graphic designing men, and yes, they're men, who are designing thumbnails where the guys are like this, they need to put food on their family to feed them.
Dude, most people are using AI for thumbnails now. Tabitha Speaks Politics, who I checked out and was like, I think you're kind of a centrist. Shout out Francesca, still doing her own thumbnails. Screwface, I'm sorry to say, looks like AI. Love Screwface, but come on, bro. Olay, I think, is doing some AI thumbnails. Let's see. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let me take that back. Oh, I don't know. Maybe experimenting with it a little bit. I don't know. But a lot of people I've seen has been doing the AI thumbnails, and it's I get it, dude. It's quick. It's quick. It's easy. Who cares, right? Yeah. Well, let's check out this.
Nothing ever happened between me and your wife. You know that, right?
I mean, yeah.
Because I felt like I said that there and you didn't believe me.
I did not believe you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But pretty much you're no holds barred when you do your comedy. You'll go dirty, you'll go whatever. So is it hard for you to go on TV and be TV clean?
No, not at all. I mean, I was on Chelsea lately for like a year. I've written for television.
Why would I not believe you?
I don't know. I just got this energy. And
I didn't think that video was weird at all.
I didn't think it was weird at all. I mean, I thought it was just, kind of nice. She was kind of taking control of the interview a little bit, and and that was it.
I saw that thing like, I don't know, years ago. It was like banned. Like,
yeah, Olay has an editor. Yeah. You know what I'm thinking of? I think it was this that made me think that she might have been using them. I do have some Vanguard videos that I want to watch too, so we're going to be watching some of those. Olay and Friends. I think it was this. Yeah, just because, like, the style, again, could be a good thumbnail editor, and that's all. It was this one and this one that made me think, oh, these are like enhanced by AI. Like you slapped it together yourself and then did like an AI sheen over it to make everything look kind of like Marvel movies do, where they'll shoot everything, they'll put the CGI effects in, and then they'll put like a layer of CGI over everything so it all looks uniform. Rather than, this sticks out as CGI, this sticks out as real. That's what I thought was happening, but I don't think so. I think it's just a new style that I'm not used to. But again, I'm also used to now seeing a lot of other people make their make AI thumbnails. All right, so we want to do the Vanguard. Got a couple Vanguard videos I want to watch, but yeah, let's check out this American Redact thingamabob. Is there nothing on Tom and Christina yet? Alright. Well, let's see. Tom Segura divorce. Too Lazy to Try has that. Alright, let's try it out. We're still on the issue. We can kind of tell it's a... Yeah, I know. Let's hope not, though. Let's hope not. All right, let me get that big again.
Last night.
I don't know.
I was you were sitting in the chair, and I went up to you, and I was trying to make kissy with you. What do you? Is Yana? Am I being inaccurate?
No.
That's right now.
No.
Bro, what?
I remember. Unreal.
If Christina died, what would your name be?
What would my move be?
Like, what would you do?
Enjoy my life? I don't know. Like, you get over it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, you would.
All right, come. That's a red flag.
That's there would be tears, but you know, you got 2 kids. You gotta move forward.
The show must go on.
We're not gonna skip a podcast that week. You know, we're gonna fucking. We're gonna do our stuff. We got things to do.
All right, so we have Tom Segura and his wife Christina P. getting divorced after 18 years. I know, shocking news.
The video is way low compared to the game. Sorry. Let me fix this. Oh, you know what I just learned? And I forgot? This. Extensions. Volume booster. There we go.
Who could have seen that coming? I mean,
How's
I'm
that?
honestly surprised it took this long. I think in a video like 2 or 3 years ago, I said these two wouldn't last
18
much
years,
longer
yeah.
because you could tell Tom was so over his marriage and was just trying to do his own thing. Like, once he became really successful, famous, and lost weight, he kept making it obvious he was fantasizing about being single and was getting sick of doing a podcast with Christina. I don't think they've done an episode together in like 3 months. So the writing was definitely on the wall, and Christina put up with a lot. You know, between Tom's meltdowns, him crashing out on the pores, him being annoyed with her all the time, him doing podcasts with porn stars, and trying to start an OF business. I mean, Tom didn't seem to give a fuck what his wife thought. Like, he'd always kind of make jokes about how he's over her, but I don't know how much of those were really jokes. So I think once he became really famous and started making a lot of money, that was it. I think he was definitely looking to get out of that relationship. So apparently it was an amicable split, and they're going to continue trying to do the podcast network together, but I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, Tom's been checked out of that and his relationship for a while now, and based on how he's been acting, I think he's definitely having a midlife crisis. And I think Andrew Tate probably had a big influence on him too, because when they had on Tate like 4 or 5 years ago now, when Tate was doing his whole red pill spiel, Tom was like...
Yeah, I remember watching this. I remember them finding his video and being like, look at this weird guy, you know? And Christina's, of course, making fun of him and whatever. It's opposite to my safe house. Oh, is it? It's right out there? Okay. Sorry. I didn't know that. And then them being like, oh, let's actually get this guy on. Oh, that'll be hilarious. And if you watch this interview, Christina's kind of making fun of him to his face. And so is Tom, but I think Tom's half-heartedly doing it, and kind of one ear is going like, actually, this guy's cooking. Actually, I kind of wish I was this guy. This is what I mean about the divorce dad arc. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And again, for a year, I've been watching Your Mom's House for quite a few years, actually. Not consistently, but like, you know, every now and then. Remember the try it out guy? Try it out, you know. And the ribbing, I thought it was ribbing. I thought they were comedians and we're gonna do this on camera because, oh, it's so funny that we're married and I'm talking about how I want to cheat on her. I'm talking about how she wishes I was dead. It's so funny. You know what I mean? But maybe it wasn't so funny, actually. maybe they're not that good of comedians, and that's just their actual thoughts on each other. You know?
And this is exactly what I needed to hear. And then, of course, he started yelling at his fans for being broke. He started hanging out with corn stars, and he was about to start an OnlyFans agency, and he got divorced.
Is that real? Really?
You know what? So many women say to me, "You're so Andrew. You know what? You're so rich, but you're smart, and you're actually very intelligent. And I know you get really bored of a robot." And I'm sitting there thinking, "Bitch, I wish to God you were a robot." You better shut the fuck up. We talk about star signs? Oh yeah, I'm so glad. Tell me more about by Sagittarius rising, you idiot. I don't give a fuck. Give me a robot. All men want robots. That's all we want. 4 wives, robots, inshallah. Put the burqa on.
Yep.
What are you talking about? We don't care. 2 coffees. I'm never gonna look at a beautiful woman who does everything I say and go, you know what? You do too much of what I say. I want to go get some disagreeable bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
On what planet?
Listen, we've had world famous comedians sit across from him. He's never spit coffee out of his nose like he just did for you.
You know what it is? Sometimes you see these videos of these guys that are lost, and then they walk into a church, and then the preacher says like the exact right thing from the Bible, and the guy's like, "Oh my God, this is what I needed." I feel the same way right now. I feel like
Yeah.
I love to hear that, Frank.
What's the longest you've been in a monogamous situation?
Monogamous?
Like, no.
So wait.
No.
You mean her being monogamous to me or me being monogamous to her?
The latter. Will it ever happen?
I don't see the point. I don't see the advantage.
Children.
I can have children while fucking another bitch. Watch me.
But here's the deal, man. But they will drain your finances. Multiple baby mamas.
And during a podcast, Christina actually joked about how she'll use the threat of taking Tom's money to prevent a divorce.
Baby mama divorce. Divorce is the first one. And then you get clean out. So you and I cannot split. If you want to keep your money, bro.
This is your sales pitch?
This is my sales pitch on staying married forever, okay?
So that aged well. Also, once Tom started hanging out with corn stars, that was probably another sign. Him and Bert were trying to convince their wives to let them have a threesome with a corn star.
Wait, would you really, like, I know this was a joke, would you really have sex with Tom and I at the same time?
Totally.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Why were what's wrong with our wives that they won't let us do that?
They're
Well,
fucking
they're
retards.
they're just listen.
It's just
They're holding on to they're holding on. That's nice, you know. They don't want to share. It's the same thing.
Then Tom brought another one of his corn star friends on his podcast to joke about how she's replacing Christina. And at this time, Christina was recovering from breast cancer surgery. So this is a bit they're doing, and his wife was there, but they got divorced less than 2 years later. So I don't think Tom was really joking about his wife being replaced. Like, obviously, there's some truth to all these jokes he'd make. I mean, while his marriage is on the rocks, he brought on a corn star to stare at and joke with about how she's replacing his wife. You know, that's pretty on the nose.
We certainly send her our warmest wishes.
Yeah. Again, you know, I thought I didn't know about this, but like if I had seen this, I'd be like, oh, this is a joke. Man, their marriage is so solid that they could joke about this like this to each other. I don't know. I think exactly like the analysis is correct. Oh, he made. First of all, I was surprised when they actually moved to Austin. Because I was like, damn, you're really that hard up that you're going to follow Rogan to Texas? All right, losers. And, you know, you're going to convince your wife to go with you and bring your kids and upend their lives. You know, I thought they were jokes. Apparently not. And I could see like, oh, now that we did move to Texas and maybe YMH is actually getting a lot more money and we're stable and I'm stable and I'm not a struggling stand-up comedian anymore. I'm a comfortable millionaire podcaster. Why am I married? Now I'm successful. Now I have the money and the means to fuck young porn star girls. You know? And hell, having that girl on, I don't remember her name. I think she got injured. I don't know. having that porn star on be like, so would you fuck both me and Tom? And she's like, yes. I don't know how they don't immediately just turn off the cameras and are like, all right, we're doing this. I don't care if we get, in trouble with our wives. We're doing this. Go fuck yourselves. I think that's what it was. Like, oh, we never had this opportunity before because we're two schlubby, middling, successful, like, middlings in success comedians. But now we're some of the biggest comedians in the country, if not the world. Now we can get that kind of pussy, and I want to. I'm surprised Tom's getting divorced before Bert, honestly. I'm surprised Leanne hasn't left Bert. Maybe I heard they're doing like a weird swinger thing. So maybe they have an understanding. Bert can fuck on the road. She can fuck while he's on the road. I don't know. But I am surprised it's Tom before Bert, honestly, getting divorced.
Hope that she's doing well. And
Nat, you said this level is annoying, so we'll find out. I mean, there's a timer on it, so I already don't like that.
you just kind of gotta keep doing stuff. So sitting in for her today is new Christine. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, really good.
Everybody's happy that you're here. We've all just been elated to have you fill in. I feel so connected.
I'm just so happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It is cool, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's saying how cool you are. I feel such a bond already. I don't know. Ever since I met you a few minutes ago, I was like, it is. So I feel like, I don't know, it's
Look, controversial opinion. This is why I don't like seeing porn stars outside of porn. I don't want to see them as real people. I'm sorry. Because then I'm like, if I'm sitting across from a porn star, ain't no way I'm not like, so can we maybe? I don't know. I've been a fan of your work. New Christine was a TV show. Old Adventures of New Christine. I remember that. I think that was Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Yeah. I remember. Like, and also this thing with comedians and porn stars has always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Doug Benson of Doug Loves Movies. Also, what was it? He had a stoner show on YouTube where he would just smoke weed with a guest. He would have porn stars on that show. And I think he's actually dating one, maybe married to one right now. Yeah, they're all surrounded by men. You're saying you remember you're surrounded by men. Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. I feel horrible for them. Getting high with Doug. Sorry. Thank you, John Dole. Appreciate you. Yeah, I used to watch it, like, all the time. No one said you get porn stars if you're a comedian. Right. Back when you could make your job smoking weed on YouTube. I know. But I'm like, the reason comedians, Doug Benson would go to, like, the Adult Video Awards. He would go to, like, conventions and shit. Where, hey, maybe I'm the host, right? I'm the MC of a panel at a fucking porn convention. I don't know what the hell you do at a porn convention other than jerk off. Like, what are you doing? Or you're going there to try to meet these women and fuck them. There's interviews, but this shit is far from that. Yeah, but even then, I don't want to hear you. I don't. Because it's going to mess me up. Like, I also have this weird separation of, like, I don't want to watch any porn where a girl is dressed like Harley Quinn or Power Girl or any character that I read in my books. Or any video game character or anything like that. I don't want to see you dressed as Princess Leia. None of that. Because I don't want to cross the streams. Fucking FD Signifier is making a video called Goon World. straight for Nebula, so I can't watch it. But I feel like he's gonna bring up a lot of these points. You know, maybe they went for the articles. How like porn is very ingrained in a lot of lingo now, especially with the internet being so dominant, and it's kind of unavoidable. Whereas when I was a kid, I remember seeing billboards for like DKNY or Victoria's Secret or whatever, or a billboard for Levi's jeans, and it's a chicken underwear. Where's the Levi's in that? It's just like porn everywhere. And I feel like it's gotten into their brains. No T for Lockhart, dude. No. If I can recognize you from a video, I'm not doing that. Because then the next time I play Final Fantasy VII, I'm going to have to fucking jerk off every 5 minutes. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see that shit. Yeah, they are just actors. And that's why it's uncomfortable when, like, when I see this clip, and I'm all like, did you talk beforehand of, like, oh, we are going to fuck, or, like, I can flirt with you as if we're in a scene together, is, you know, or am I bringing you on as a human being and I'm just treating you like a piece of meat? It all stems back to like Howard Stern, and dude, I never liked Howard Stern. I never liked it. He was crass, he was gross and mean to people he would come on, that would come on for an interview. And then, yeah, he would have porn stars and like, hey, can you eat this many hot dogs? Like, it was gross. It was gross. It was always gross. And I was not like a Puritan kid, you know. I love South Park. I love Jackass and shit like that. But when you cross it into like, how to get a guest spot? Yeah, please, Sasha Grey, collab with me. I know she's on Twitch, you know. And even then, like, should she be on Twitch? If anybody Googles her name, who's watching her play Fortnite, you know, I don't know. I don't think you get... Because, like, sex work is work, right? That's the lefty position. That's the progressive position. And it's true. Like, you need unions. It should be legalized. All those things. But I'm also like... It shouldn't be like... It should still be taboo. There should, in general, period, at all, be taboos. And I feel like that's been degraded over a long period of time. And it's a little bit, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I feel bad for her in this instance, but also I'm like, maybe she didn't care. Maybe this is like fun for her. I don't know.
Weird, but like when you walked in, I was like, I mean, I don't know if it's saying too much, but I was just like, soulmate. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you felt it too, but
I so felt it.
You did.
I so felt it right away.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? You're here.
Yeah, I told you I was gonna be a little bit late. But
I didn't think you were coming in. Oh,
Right.
actually, she's.
Hi, I'm Christina.
I'm new Christina.
Oh.
Oh my God, you guys have the same name. That's crazy. Well, just because we didn't know if you were gonna be here today.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Tom was cheating on his wife at this point. I mean, I'd be surprised if he wasn't. And I think these bits he's doing where the joke is that it's basically true are just as embarrassing for his wife. Like, also, him and Bert talking about starting an OnlyFans management company. I'm sure she is thrilled about that. I mean, her husband, who she has 2 young kids with, was trying to find women to pimp out on his podcast. So Tom must just not care what she thinks, or anyone thinks for that matter, because this was wild. You know, the secondhand embarrassment their wives felt must have been through the roof. But I think one of them put an end to it. I'm pretty sure Bert's wife, because I don't think they talk about this as much anymore. So I think somebody had to step in, which probably disappointed Tom's idol, Andrew Tate, for them to let their wives stop this. And this is what Andrew Tate used to do. This is how he made his money, pimping girls out on OnlyFans and webcams. So Tom was...
By the way, breaking news from yesterday, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate both fucking arrested and going to be extradited to the UK. We do freak out about sex stuff a lot. I agree. Sasha Grey exited the industry. She should be able to... Yeah. Again, I'm of two minds of that. Like, yes, she's done. She wants to do something else. What else do you do after that? It was almost the same argument I made for Graham Plattner. What do you do after the military? Your whole resume is these very specific skills that don't really translate to many other kind of jobs. Now, I was corrected on that, watching, talking to Lumencast. It was like, you can get any fucking job. What are you talking about? And Left of the Box, we watched her video on Saturday, talking about, yeah, you can get any job after the military. Like, what are you talking about? But Sasha Grey, not so easy. She tried to do acting. She was in some horror movies. But, like, didn't go. I'm sure every casting director that she went to go see was like, well, service me and then we'll get you into the movie. And I feel like she was like, no. Horrible comparison. I know. It was just like specific set of skills in my head. You know what I mean? And I think that now she's like, okay, Twitch. Here's my Twitch. You probably know who I am already, so I'm going to have a certain amount of loyal subscribers from day one. And now, going forward, this is it. I'm playing video games. If you are shitty in my chat, you're banned. Other than that, maybe she does an OnlyFans. I don't know. I don't follow her like that, but like, she's just trying to live her life post-porn. And our society does make it very difficult for you to do that. So I do have empathy. But I'm also recognized I'm part of the problem where I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see you. I don't want Sasha Grey or whoever, Emma Hicks on this, being the next judge on The Voice or like hosting the Oscars or I don't know. Like, it feels weird mixing in polite society, right? And again, that's outdated. I recognize those views are outdated, fucking old, fucking regressive, fucking oppressive. Don't record your crimes for the lulz, yeah. Better that than working in a cubicle where you'll just get shuffled out by AI in a few years, for sure. For sure. I mean, but it's this like weird liminal space now of like, no, everything's porn. There is porn everywhere. It's on Twitch, I mean, look, we don't disagree, Natch. We don't disagree. I just have to like make my mind recognize the humanity of these people. Like, they are human beings. And nobody says this about guys, right? A guy can absolutely walk in and out of porn and nobody fucking bats an eye. Matter of fact, you get handshakes and high fives. And maybe we do get to a place where you can do that for... I mean, look, it's going to happen because the amount of, like, millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha who are, like, on OnlyFans now... It's the same thing with, like, someone running for office and, like, well, here's your Twitter account. It's like, yeah, everyone's going to have a Twitter account. A lot of people are going to have OnlyFans. That they are like, I did this for college to move on, and now here I am in the world. It's like being a stripper. You know what I mean? Like, I have friends who did sex work to put themselves through school, And, now they're in their professions and nobody knows they did that, right? It's just, this is online. So OnlyFans is going to be there forever, and people are forever going to be able to look up like, oh shit, your mom did porn or your dad did porn or whatever it is. I feel like we're gonna hit that point in society where like it's not a big deal to have had an OnlyFans at one point in your life. But I feel like like this is an example of the exploitation that I want them to be able to avoid. You know what I mean? I don't want them to have to be like, okay, well, y'all only know me from porn. Now I'm going to be on these podcasts where I'm gonna talk about. It's like the Hawk Tuah girl. It's like a Hawk Tuah girl. Like, you're known for a clip where you're talking about sucking dick. You're gonna make a career out of this? Now she was smart and quickly made a podcast, had a couple big high profile guests on the podcast, made a crypto coin, rug pulled that coin, and disappeared. Disappeared. Especially as economic prospects get more bleak. Of course. Damn it, hang on.
We must double as we descend here on Memphis to organize and care for our brothers and sisters. We cannot afford to leave Tennessee behind. We cannot afford to leave Kentucky behind, Alabama behind, Mississippi behind, Georgia behind.
Fucking. Sometimes I click the wrong thing at work and it just starts playing a clip and I'm like, stop. Stop! I have to close the whole fucking thing and open it again. Yeah, so like it's I don't know what you do if you're in porn and you want to get out of porn. Oh yeah, Hawk Tuah's podcast, it's done. She did a rug pull, a crypto rug pull, and disappeared. Which is smart. Yeah. Make a bunch of money from you being a meme and then disappear again and become a regular person. Mara was definitely creepy with her for sure. But that's what I mean. Because if you stay in this entertainment industry, then you're just doing comedians' podcasts who want to have porn stars on. And that's a specific sect of comedian. Usually the creeps, right? So that's kind of, you never get out of it. Again, you be a stripper, and that's real life, but no one's recording it, so you can kind of move on from that. Or you do porn that's on the internet, and you might never be able to move on. And that's, again, unfair and unfortunate. But I don't see the way out. And I would again, FD Signifier is making that video called Goon World. And I'm very interested in it, but I'm also not going to sign up for Nebula, so I'm not going to watch it. But I feel like that should be that is something we have to contend with, because it is important. That like, why is porn now, like, dude, cuck, right? How many times right wingers using the word cuck over the last fucking 10 years, and now it's just in the lexicon. So I don't know, man. Like, there's got to be some kind of middle ground where we're not Puritan like conservatives, but also we're not. It's not New Year's Rockin' Eve with Dick Clark, hosted by Anderson Cooper and I think that woman's name was Ariana Chechik. Adriana Chechik. I remember her face because she broke her back. She broke her back doing like I don't know, like a stunt or something. No, it wasn't porn related. What up, Ghost Dog? Look at everybody's here. I appreciate you. I didn't even tweet it out. I was actually kind of seeing how many people would come in naturally, and you have no idea how much it warms my heart that y'all are just coming in, just checking me out, and I just went live randomly. Really appreciate you. Let's finish out this video here. Of course, Natch. Like, it's unfair for me to think about this. It's unfair for me to not give them grace. Be like, you are a human being. But also, New Year's Rockin' Eve, or the Oscars, or the Grammys, hosted by, you came in naturally. I see what you did there. Broke it at TwitchCon. What? Oh, the back. Yes, she did. Thank you for the reminder. But yeah, there's got to be a middle ground. And maybe there's a way to ease in. And be like, yeah, no, I had an OnlyFans. It's no big deal, blah, blah, blah. There was that woman who was running for office. I think she was running for Congress in, like, Pennsylvania, somewhere in Pennsylvania. Alexandra Hunt, I think her name was. Yes. She had an OnlyFans, and she created it and was like, I'm going to campaign with my OnlyFans. Like, this is how I'm going to raise money. And I thought that was a great way to do that. And I'm like, that could bridge the gap. That could bridge the gap. Now, she didn't win, and I don't know if she's been involved in politics since then. But a public official being like, yes, I had an OnlyFans, and it's okay. I'm in Congress now. That, I think, would create a safety lane. You know what I mean? And I think that would be a really great way to, like, hey, you don't have to only do... Because a lot of the downside... I mean, there's a lot of downsides. But the downside is, like, if you start in porn, there's nowhere else to go. You have to do that for the rest of your life, ultimately. Or, you know, again, swim in these, like, nasty comedian circles, but mostly you're still just doing porn. Or you're a hooker, or you're a stripper. You kill yourself with drugs and overdosing. You know, terrible. You know, an off-ramp. A little bit of public, like, hey, we should be allowed to leave and not be harassed for the rest of our lives. Or not be pigeonholed into an industry or something for the rest of our lives. Absolutely. I just don't know how we get there. Other than, like, Alexandra Hunt. That was my idea. And I loved it. I was like, yes. Show that you can get out. Crystal Ball got her congressional campaign blown up when pics of her at a party came out and it was tame stuff. And that was 2010. Yeah, she ran for Congress. Scandal. Racy photos. Her grabbing a nose? Oh, it's because she was being, like, flirty in the photo? Oh, come on. But of course. Oh my God. I mean, this one is okay. Sucking reindeer dildo. Oh my God. But this is like what they tried to get Kat Abou-Ghazala on. Yeah, exactly, Wretched. Hey, I looked over there and you said it. That's why we got to be accepting. Exactly. Exactly. You're right. And I know you're right. You know? Like, this shit is ridiculous. And who was the woman who was ousted from like she won, she was in Congress, but then it turned out she was having like a threesome, or she was in a throuple. Congress woman throuple. But I think that one was like Katie Hill. That one was a little more complicated because I think it was a staffer. And so it was like, well, this is kind of abuse of power. But yeah, this kind of was a shitty. She shouldn't have been expelled for this, at least. Or if she was, then every other fucking, every dude who fucked with a staffer should have been expelled as well. Hold on. Say Elizabeth Moss will play Katie Hill in She Will Rise adaptation? What is this? Oh, this is a Post thing from 2020. All right. I don't know if that happened already. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, I now that I see those pictures of Crystal Ball, I do kind of remember that. But I did not remember she ran for Congress. Oh, it's a smear movie. Women always getting punished for what men are celebrated for. Yeah, exactly. It's a story as old as time. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like if a dude ran for Congress who used to do porn, they'd be like, "Oh, what do you talk like? He's the man." Actually, this helps his campaign. You know what I mean? So I know it's my internalized misogyny. Like I'm aware of it. I'm still trying to like excise it. You know what I mean?
Was really trying to follow in his footsteps.
That's a really good one. Let's see who else.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Wow, way to bring it. Way to fucking bring it.
Some of them just get it, dude.
God, some of them just fucking get it. Yes.
Sorry, I have some stuff to cut, so I'm gonna make the video big for now.
If you're listening right now or watching, because we're probably not showing you this, this is a woman who is posing. You're seeing her from behind. One leg is up, and then she has a full bottle of Porosos in her no-no hole.
And you could really tell things were on the rocks for Tom and Christina's relationship during this episode a few years ago with Jimmy Carr, where Christina kept asking him goofy questions about being British, and Jimmy started making fun of her for it, which Tom loved. He thought it was hilarious. And then when she'd interrupt, Tom would sigh and look at Jimmy like, "I'm sorry, she's here." Like he was embarrassed by her.
So do the Royals just have their own dialect? Or is that like a super upper crust accent? What is the royal accent?
Are the royal family posh is your question?
Well, like...
And this seems borderline retarded.
It is retarded. It is retarded.
Are the royal family... I remember once playing...
Jimmy Carr, can I ask you another retarded question?
Sure.
When you meet...
I don't think you couldn't.
Oh, I can't, yeah.
That'd be the more interesting thing. Being thrilled with it, yeah.
Born in the USA is anti-Vietnam.
When you get booked, though,
we all knew that.
Do they?
Sorry, no, because we're talking. We're talking here, so.
Wait, Jimmy, I have a question.
No.
Let men.
Is it about 7 Up again, Jesus?
But about the English accent. Listen, about the monarchy, their accent though, like, what is that? Just like so insular because they don't talk like anybody else in London. So what is that fucking accent?
So Tom was already over her at this point, which was a few years ago. You could see they're barely hanging on, and they had no chemistry anymore, which obviously hurt the podcast. Like when it started, people enjoyed it because they're just goofing around and trying to have fun. But then once Tom lost weight and became rich and famous, he got too serious, and Tom just seemed annoyed.
Your boyfriend looks like Tom Segura and freaks you out. Oh no. Oh no. I hope Gen Z guys are better than ours. They are, dude. They are. Let me introduce y'all. Next video we'll watch, I guess. This, I swear to God. Oh no. Oh no, Amanda Seals, don't go on bad faith. Don't do that. I don't know if y'all know about these guys, but this is like the non-political Silly and Billy, Aaron and Joe, and I swear to God, them just like naturally talking and like checking each other, I'm like, dude, that's misogynist, that's racist. Or like they're watching a clip and they're reacting like, dude, that's awful. I would never say that. Blah blah blah. Like they are, and I'm like, oh shit. Maybe the future, like they're checking each other, they're checking themselves, they're checking clips that they're watching. I mean, the way they're throwing around the R slur in this video. Like they're watching like I think they watched like a clip from Flavor of Love or something, and they were throwing around the R slur and they were like highly like, what the fuck? You could just say that on TV back then. And then also Flavor of Love, there was a lot of accusations of, oh, you're a lesbian, blah blah blah, and they were like, dude, what the fuck is this homophobic bullshit? So yeah, I'll play them for you in a bit, but like. There's hope for the future. They do look like Silly and Billy, right? I told you. This is where I bridge the gap. I still, Pinkerbell, I sent them an email like 2 or 3 streams ago. Still haven't heard back from them about getting on the show. I want to get on the show. I want to talk about how I know Andrew Schultz.
Having to deal with his wife on a podcast. Like, you could really tell the fun was over and the chemistry was gone with these two at the end of this episode when Christina tried making this inside joke she'd always make. But Tom wasn't having it, and he basically let her know that he finds it embarrassing and doesn't want her to do it anymore, which you could tell kind of offended her, and she probably feels like Tom is too serious now and she can't joke around with him anymore. You know, he only seems to be in a fun mood when he's hanging out with corn stars or searching for OnlyFans talent. Then it's all fun and games, and when his wife complains about it, he probably tells her she needs to lighten up. But then when she makes a stupid joke or asks a stupid question, you could tell he's like, "You believe this woman? She's so embarrassing." But I think she has much more of a right to be embarrassed by him with the shit he's doing and the jokes he makes about her.
I went to New York the other day, and I'm very excited.
Sorry, where?
New York.
I don't think you're pronouncing that right. The audience doesn't know where you're talking about.
Where would they understand?
Hello, Judork titties, Judork.
The fact that you say that to people openly all the time.
Yeah.
And I watch their brain go. Oh, yeah, and they're like, "What did you say?" Like I see them do it all the time, and they're like, "Judork."
You know why? Because I'm halfway to dead now. Even actually, I'm over halfway to dead.
That's very true.
And I've decided I'm just gonna have fun. If it doesn't hurt anybody, I'm just having a good time.
So they had a good run, but Tom's head got way too big, and he wanted to be taken too seriously, and I think Andrew Tate was probably a bad influence on him. But let me know what you guys think, and check out the Patreon account if you want to hear about how the depravity of Andrew Schultz is worse than we thought, and how Theo Vaughn accidentally exposed Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan exposed the Mossad agent, young Jamie humiliated Eric Weinstein, Alex Jones crashed out over low IQ conspiracy theories, and I covered...
Alright, shout out Too Lazy to Try. Always love his stuff. Alright, yeah, let me show you a little bit of Silly and Billy. Or knockoff Silly and Billy. What's a good example? I mean, they're also reacting to copyrighted shows, so I don't know if I could even play this and not get pulled off the air or pulled off line, you know what I mean? But I'll suggest. So go to the thing. Let's see. Flavor. Yeah, watch their Flavor of Love reaction to get an idea of what I mean. Or Jersey Shore also is another one. Oh shit. So let's watch an actual Vanguard video. Fans turn on Joe Rogan. And also this Destiny thing. I gotta find out about both of these. Yeah, I know. I'm surprised that he would be influenced by Andrew Tate. And be like, oh, yeah, no, this sounds awesome. I want to do this. And then him and Bert were like, oh, let's start an OnlyFans thing. And we'll just be pimps. Like, Jesus Christ. Here, let me move GTA over here. Again, I'm cutting stuff. I'm getting the emails. Give me a second.
Well, yeah, I got that. We're not letting you in because we're worried about talking to you. Okay. Security. Okay. You can chill. Every single
There was a college Democrat event that Hassan Piker attended, and Destiny tried to attend as well. Didn't go so well. Did not go so well. So let's take a look here. Destiny crashing out, posting his own L's on Twitter. Unfortunately, we're barred from going into the event because Hassan, he tags Hassan, spammed text to complain to the vice president of college Dems, Cameron Landon. This is despite my community putting over $1 million into canvassing and fundraising for Dems against Republicans in the last 5 years, and Hassan doing nothing besides attacking moderate Dems and calling them homo-fascists when they don't support their anti-Dem candidates. Video incoming. Yeah, can't wait for fucking that. So
yeah, okay, so Destiny's a fucking crazy person, right? Right? All I know is that, like, him and Hassan used to be friends. They're not anymore, and Destiny has been chasing, like Ethan Klein, constantly just trying to shit on him to build his base up, and is a little more insane and shit, and also is a centrist. So maybe the divide going on with Democrats is literally down to fucking streamer drama. Because that's the stupid world that we live in now.
first of all, it's like, all right, bro. Now, what are you just like trauma dumping? What are you just trauma dumping here? Like referencing quotes and clips that most normal people have never even fucking heard of. This would look like a goddamn, a cryptic riddle to just a normal person. Imagine showing this to them. All this random shit, you're referencing beefs and tweets and clips and grievances that you have that, again, most people, they don't fucking know what you're talking about. You sound like a crazy person. You sound like a fucking schizophrenic rambling, at the bus stop or something. Let's take a look at this video real quick. A better angle of Destiny getting kicked out.
We're not letting you in. Well, yeah, I got that. We're not letting you in because we're worried about talking to you. So I've been every year worried you're going to yell or some shit, which is fine. We're not going to. I'm sorry. How can I not get it? We're telling you we're not going to get it. We're telling you you're not going to get it. I know who doesn't support the Democratic Party or whatever has priority over. I'm not engaging in this conversation. Okay, I understand. Is there anybody ahead of you or anybody above you that I can talk about this? Or? I am the national vice president. Okay. Yeah, I'm the Democrats in America. Yeah, but she trusts me with everything, so yeah. Security. Okay. Security. We can okay. You can chill. Walk out of the middle. Oh, unnecessary. This isn't.
Dude, this is, again, it's just posting your L's, acting like you're the victim. It's like, dude, there's this a private event. You can't just show up to an event. Like, if Gavin and I show up, we're the vanguard, right? And we walk up to the, Young Republicans event, let's just use that as an example, or the Young Democrats event, or the Young Green Party event. We show up with our camera, we're filming, right? We have a bunch of people, and we're like, let us in. And they're like, you can't come in. We're like, why? The flyer says it's open to the public. And it's like, yeah, but you can't come in and create a disruption like you're doing right now. So we're actually going to say you're not allowed into this event. You're being barred from this event. This is an event that, yes, it is open to the public, but it is hosted by a private organization. So we're allowed to decline that. And you throwing a Karen tantrum doesn't exactly make you look like the level-headed one in the situation. No. And I mean, just again, why would you even post this fucking L? Here's the vice president, the national vice president of the college Democrats telling me to get the fuck out because I'm so problematic, weird.
Yeah, good. Good. You should be fucking kicked out. You should not be let into that event. Anyone standing next to him in a picture is compromised. Because now someone could, any wherewithal Republican or centrist Democrat be like, you're in a picture with this weirdo. No bueno. No bueno. I have to pee. Give me a second. Destiny is a fucking predator. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, definitely shouldn't be on a college campus or any school grounds.
Weird and prone to harassment that we can't have you in this space. Like, what a fucking... I would never talk about that shit if it happened to me. If I was, like, politely told to please leave an event because I was creating problems and making people feel weird about, again, what's supposed to be a productive organizing space, I'd be like, well, never going to talk about that again. Moving on. Destiny, on the other hand, decides to make a huge fucking deal about it, make himself the victim, even though he's claiming...
I got rejected for a job, so... feels bad, man.
That, unlike Hassan... I actually help the Democrats, right? Therefore, I deserve to be there. Then why are you making it all about yourself, bro? Then why are you making it all about yourself? Because this is a college Democrat event, and they seemed a lot more excited about Hassan being there than your toxic, disgusting ass, who they kicked to the fucking curb, as they should have. Again, it was their responsibility to do so, if nothing else for the safety, literally, of Hassan Piker, who you've over and over again threatened online. So absolutely wild shit. And again, just so glorious to see Destiny posting his L's, coping, tagging Hassan as if Hassan's not going to have an absolute field day with this story, which we're going to take a look at too. But again, Destiny, you're literally making it all about yourself. If you really just care about the Democrats and getting them elected or whatever, like, why are you making this all about yourself? Why are you causing so much drama that you're actually distracting from the mission of, again, what was supposed to be, and I'm sure what was, a very productive organizing space? That should be all that matters to you. That should be your North fucking star, making sure that Democrats can organize effectively. It's not about you, bro. Oh yeah, and that's such obvious cap, right? That's such an obvious lie. The reality is that he's pissed off because the candidates that Hassan has been supporting have been winning, and the candidates Destiny's been supporting have been losing, right? He gets pissed off when Hassan goes to Denver and campaigns with Milat Kiros, right? And guess what? Milat won. Okay, he gets pissed off when Hassan goes to New York City and campaigns with people like Daria Lisa and people like Claire Valdez, and says, hey, I want these people to win. They're Democrats, and they do win, right? Destiny has a temper tantrum about that. How many times has Destiny freaked out and mauled it about Hassan going and campaigning in Michigan, right, with Abdul El Sayed? These are real, tangible things that Hassan is doing for the Democratic Party that are getting more people excited about it, right? But the problem is that while Hassan is successfully expanding the Young Democrats by moving the party left, by engaging on topics that interest them, by taking politically courageous decisions that the people resonate with, right? It's sucking all the energy away from Destiny, and it's bringing it all towards Hassan and these progressive causes, right? And that's what actually frustrates Destiny, and that's why he's melting down. 100%, 100%. And speaking of Hassan Piker, here he is responding to the news that Destiny was banned from the College Democrats of America convention after announcing that he would harass Hassan Piker and his audience at the event. Literally, Destiny announces this and then acts shocked when they're like, actually, no, we're not going to let you use our fucking organizing space to harass our keynote speaker, one of them at least. That's crazy. So Hassan says, 40-year-old pest with a child openly live streams intent to harass a speaker at an event he wasn't invited to, fails to disrupt, proceeds to dox and slander the event organizers' incredible work. And let's take a look at the maturity of Destiny's comment section, Zach, because we took a look at that video on his channel. Again, I don't know why he posted his own L's. I wouldn't fucking post a video of me getting kicked out by the vice president of the college Dems. But look at the fucking immaturity and just what a cult of personality Destiny's audience is. Again, this is from his own channel. This Joker needs to lose his position as VP. I don't know, that guy seemed pretty serious to me. He seemed a lot more of a serious activist than fucking Destiny.
So I applied to another job just to, like, do that. No, it was not a ghost job application. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Definitely dealt with a lot of those. This was like, I legit had part one of an interview, and then they were like, we'll see if we get to part two. And then I just was checking in on Friday, like, hey, you told me to check in, and then got a message today, just now, being like, actually we went with other people, but we'll keep your resume on file, and maybe there's other opportunities. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. Okay. This would have been a real fucking job instead of the goddamn freelance bullshit I have right now. Sorry for yelling.
It's just calling the manager, bro. It's just, oh, I'm a Karen. Hello, I just got done with my time at the salon, and now I would like to call the manager on Hassan Piker, please. Yup. Literally. And then again, just referencing random fucking stupid drama that no one actually gives a fuck about, just the most terminally online brain rot ever. But Hassan had nothing to do with Destiny being rebanned from Twitch. Who gives a fuck, bro? Again, you're talking about Twitch bans and shit. Get a fucking life. Quite democratic of them. Again, it's not the definition of democracy that this random event has to let in anybody, including harassers and agitators. That has nothing to do with fucking democracy. You can have a democratic organization that still says, hey, if you're openly announcing your intent to harass our guest speaker and bring your toxic fucking fans with you, then maybe you're not allowed in. It's not authoritarian, right? That's just like being a responsible event coordinator.
Yeah.
So just hilarious that the whole Destiny audience is, melting down over this, of course, just siding with Destiny, making it all about Destiny Hassan instead of the actual mission of the event. We have a couple more interesting things to take a look at here. Do you want to watch some of Hassan's speech from this event, Zach?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at that.
These people in hate movements who try to control our lives are most afraid of popular action, of democracy, of the people. They're afraid of us because of the simple fact that there are more of us than there are of them. There always have been, and there always will be. There are more good, decent people with moral conviction who find it unfathomable that the wealthiest nation on earth chooses to spend its billions blowing up schools overseas rather than building schools in our neighborhoods.
Really channeling the Pyramid Boss energy. Yeah, I think he's wearing that suit, the Chinese suit again.
Yep.
That kind of makes him look like fucking linen or some shit. Pretty funny.
Understand why in the wealthy.
Yeah, Destiny's people are fucking great. Destiny and Vouch. Those are the two where I'm like, I don't trust any of you. I don't trust any of you. All right, where am I on? Until 4.
Nation on earth. There are hundreds of thousands of people who will go to sleep outside tonight, and millions more who live paycheck to paycheck.
The song is cooking.
Employers don't hire diplomas, they hire skills. At WGU School of Technology, you'll earn both, with a degree backed by industry certifications that prove you're job ready. Learn more at wgu.edu.
Has anyone actually made it to level 4 before? If you're slightly congested, use level 1.
Yeah, so, pretty good speech from what I saw. Pretty good speech. And again, I think that a big part of the reason why Destiny was so triggered by Hassan being invited to actually speak there is because it does cut against these smears from Destiny that Hassan actually hates the Democrats or something. And what do you say? He criticizes moderate Democrats or something, as if it's Hassan jobs to just do fucking propaganda for Zionist Democrats like Destiny does. So pretty funny stuff. And again, it just proves that as far as who's actually active in this movement, and not just the freaking left-wing movement, but literally, yes, getting Democrats elected, it's Hassan. He's the one doing the fucking work. He's the one out there at events like this and speaking with candidates. Can you imagine one of the candidates, running at any level, Congress, Senate, can you imagine any of them wanting to associate with Destiny or bringing fucking Destiny?
Hey, Latino Mafuno, what
it's
up?
unimaginable. No one would want to be associated with that fucking weirdo.
Oh, absolutely. And again.
Oh, I definitely know that Destiny's way worse than Vouch. I know that. For sure. But Vouch is not doing himself any favors, from what I've seen. But would rather be on a stage, sharing a stage with Vouch than sharing a stage with Destiny, as Emma Vigeland has shared a stage with Vouch. All right, let's make a quick save here.
That's what it all boils down to, right? The fact that Destiny made a calculation a few years ago, right, that he was going to break with the Bernie Bros, that he was going to become this like hardcore lip-filled guy on the internet, and there's no demand for that. It's like being a Ben Shapiro style figure on the right. There's absolutely no demand for somebody who wants to just come out there and sycophantically kiss Donald Trump's ass and act like we just need more rah-rah conservatism and neoconservative military action, etc. There is no longer a demand for that on the internet. What is there a demand for? Right? Well, there's a demand for people who want to speak actual truth to power.
Must remain
There's a demand for
silent.
people who want to hold politicians accountable. There's a demand for people who recognize that Israel is committing a genocide with our tax dollars. And there's a fucking demand for people who are going to go put their money where their mouth is and actually represent us when they get to Congress. Hassan understands that.
Oh my
He
God,
said, you
I
guys are
forgot
right.
about
Over
this.
the last couple of years, I have become a superstar streamer. I want to start using that in 2026 more than ever before to get people elected, to say, yes, I am allied with the DSA. If they want me to go somewhere, I'll be on a plane and be there. If they want me to give a speech to the Young Democrats, I'll be on a plane and be there, right? Why? Because I'm interested in facilitating growth in the Democratic Party. I'm interested in expanding what it means to be a Democrat, not from the right, not pushing it towards the center, but
God's
moving
sakes.
towards a progressive vision
Save
that actually represents a bold future for people to inhabit, to be inspired by, to actually mobilize
Once
and
you're near the
achieve,
door, you
right?
can
That's what
sprint,
Hassan's doing right now, and it's left Destiny
Yeah,
completely
you're right.
in the lurch, right? He thought he was being pragmatic by angling himself this way, and it completely blew up in his face because he became the guy that fucks children and supports genocide.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's definitely, I think, how he's seen to most normies who aren't in his fucking cult-like audience that, again, really just cares about Destiny. They don't give a fuck about Democrats winning. That was evidenced by the comment section. You know, no one gave a fuck about the contents of this convention. They didn't give a shit about the actual mission of the organizers, which, again, was not to facilitate harassment of one of their key guest speakers, Hassan Piker. Just absolutely wild that Destiny is acting like he's the victim in this situation.
I got plenty of time.
But let's take a
Plenty of
look, Zach. You
time.
want to watch a little bit of Hassan's reaction to this epic crash out from Destiny?
Yeah, I saw this. Kick streamer Destiny got banned from the College Democrats of America convention after announcing he would harass Hassan Piker and his audience at the event. It is very funny. It is very funny to see a guy who like openly was like, "I'm gonna go to this convention." Guy who openly is like, "I'm gonna go to the fucking I'm gonna go to an event I wasn't invited to deliberately harass the fucking convention keynote speaker." Easy as no contact order approval with all this evidence, man. Get one and he can never talk about you again. End this harassment for good already. If you're still in contact with the CDA, you should give them a heads up that the finance director you crossed paths with is not being targeted by the sex pest. Yeah, he knows.
You know what this reminds me of?
It's just crazy.
I was trying to think of the best example I could think of, but maybe a decade ago, I saw a headline on Consequence of Sounds about how Weezer was taking the band The Lemonheads on tour with them. And most people in our audience are going to have no idea who the Lemonheads are. They do a cover of Mrs. Robinson that plays at the end of The Wolf of Wall Street. Maybe you've heard it, but they also had a couple of other songs back in the day. My mother was a fan, so I know a lot of their work. Either way, it caught my eye, right? And the Lemonheads are like a band that, you know, the most noteworthy thing to me about them, outside of what I've told you, is that the lead singer kind of looks like Gavin.
Yeah, let's
but
go
nobody
offload
cares about the
our
Lemonheads,
shit.
right? I already had to tell you guys a bunch of stuff about them. I didn't have to tell you anything about Weezer, right? I would wager that a lot of people in our audience know who Rivers Cuomo is. You've heard the Blue Album, you know Beverly Hills, you know the hits, right? Everybody knows that Weezer is going to tour the country and make a lot of money. Well, the guy that was the vocalist for the Lemonheads just kept talking so much shit on Rivers Cuomo. He just kept coming out in publicly talking shit.
Even after they let him open for him?
Yes, and then Weezer's like, we don't want this drama. We're just cutting the Lemonheads from our tour, right? We're replacing them with another band,
What
right?
were the Lemonheads talking shit about?
I have no idea. Just the guy, I think he's an alcoholic. Like, he was just making a fool of himself. So the Lemonheads, they get cut from the tour, right? And of course that's what happens, right? Because the tour is going to, like, the, you know, whatever the, like, Rockin' Summer Tour, the banner that they were under, they're going to prioritize Weezer, the band that everybody is coming to see, versus the Lemonheads, because, you know, just because the, you know, the front man for them feels like Rivers Cuomo like slided him or like wasn't cool with him or whatever, right? And Destiny is really given like, oh, I'm the front man for the Lemonheads and the Weezer guy was really rude to me, and it's like, yeah, nobody cares, bro. We're all here to see Weezer.
That was the most like Zach from the Vanguard way to explain this.
That was a very specific way to
That's why
explain
people
that.
watch your show. I think I do have more insight into this situation now as a result of that anecdote. And that is pretty funny. Why would you talk shit? That's a huge favor for Weezer to be letting you.
I don't think I've
That's
ever done
crazy. Why would
burglaries
you-
on my
why would
own
you do that?
without it being
Either
a
way, let's watch a
mission.
little bit more of this, and then we can move on. But yeah, just so funny to see.
'Cause, yeah,
Hassan
that
get
mission
take
is
this
very
victory lap.
annoying.
Like, what did Destiny think was going to happen? Obviously, setting up Hassan to get to take this victory lap, to gloat, to make fun of him. Do you really think that you're going to come out of this looking good, Destiny? To anyone other than your most sycophantic freak fans?
Because that's like, this is like, I think he thought, because it's like Democrat in the name, he thought like,
I don't even get paid for that one.
I can just like go out and fucking openly openly talk about how I'm going to agitate and how I'm going to disrupt the fucking event that, you know, college Democrats have put together, this national convention. Bro, there's something so strange
Try to
about
get in the
like
back.
openly filming yourself, wanting to you know, thwart an event put together that you were not invited to because you hate the person that they invited, and then just being fucking ass mad the entire time, you know, making this up.
Patients around the world are cleaning their retainers.
Sorry,
Here are the
cop.
3 worst ways to clean your retainer. 1, brushing. This is really common, but can actually cause...
Fun fact, once you finish all the burglar missions, you get infinite
The guy
stamina.
who was arrested for making bomb
Oh,
threats, but
really?
it wasn't Jared Maki in the picture he
Not worth
posted. It was
it. Yeah, I
Austin
don't
Wise,
think
the
so.
finance director of the
It
college
doesn't
Democrats
sound
of America,
worth
another failed attempt. The funny thing is the college Dems led in Jared Maki, the same guy who got a guided tour to Hassan in Michigan, the same guy who was later arrested for making bomb threats. Dude, what the fuck is going on, man? This guy's such a fucking... Dude.
And that is insane.
You can't do this, man.
Yeah, people are like, oh, well, you know, it's like, it's just Twitter. And it's like, but this is why Destiny doesn't get taken seriously, right? This is why Destiny doesn't get taken seriously, because he's gone full Ethan Klein, right? He has jumped
He's the
shark.
original Ethan
It's
Klein.
over for him. He's in like Kanye West territory where nothing you can do is shocking, nothing you can do is eye-catching, right? People just don't want anything to do with you because it's annoying now. It's too much to deal with. There is, even if you ever saw a benefit in Destiny or his commentary, you no longer feel the juice is worth the squeeze, which is, to Gavin's point earlier, that's why you could not imagine a single politician that's in a serious primary doing an event with him. Meanwhile, they are all lining up to do events with Hassan. Hassan was doing events with Zoran before he became the mayor of New York City, guys. This is a man with actual political power. This is a man with actual pull. He has a huge audience of people who...
Yeah, this is the last GTA. This is GTA 5. No. This is GTA San Andreas. Came out like 20 plus years ago.
He says, hey, dial 1,000 phone calls in a row. They say, can't wait to dial 1,000 phone calls in a row, right? Destiny has none of that. And he's just creating content for the same like 10,000 wackadoo weirdos who are in his hyper cult. And he's going to continue to perform for them. And it's going to get more and more deranged, more and more hysterical. He's going to continue to lash out more and more like a dog that's been bagged into a corner. And it's only going to continue the process of him being the snake that eats his tail, right? He does all this bad behavior and it makes him less and less relevant as he continues to try and satisfy this deranged fucking sycophantic brigade of goons that he's, you know, been building for the last couple of years.
Yup, 100%. And again, here's some proof that, you know, Destiny is on the record literally threatening to harass Hassan. Just a heads up, I'm going to do some mass harassment campaigns on every single journalist who gives this guy free interviews from now on, and then him cheekily posting, is the College Democrat event today open to the public? Again, what are you, a fucking agitator? I thought you were a Democratic activist. You're literally announcing your intentions to be a fucking agitator. It's absolutely wild that he thinks he's allowed in here. And again, it's not just the Hassan thing that led to Destiny getting barred, in my opinion, Zach. Because, I mean, take a look at the vice president of the College Democrats. Clearly, this is someone who has solidarity with Palestine. You know, he's wearing a keffiyeh. Clearly, he's someone who supports Palestine. Clearly, the College Democrats is an organization that supports Palestine. Hence, their invitation to Hassan to speak there. And what is Destiny? He's one of the most notorious genocide apologists online in the entire quote-unquote left-wing sphere, because he still identifies as being on the left. But sorry, Destiny, this is a pro-Palestinian movement. This is and you know what that means? It means it's a fucking anti-Israel movement. And you know what that means? You're not fucking welcome. So get the hell out.
Dead ass. Preach. 100%.
Yup. You want to watch some more of Hassan's reaction, or?
Yeah, or I'm down to talk about this Kyle Kalinske shit, because
I think you're
that's the
thinking
other
of
half
3,
Destiny
Latino.
stuff that really gets spicy.
That was the first 3D
I
GTA.
almost forgot, in the midst of crashing out over the embarrassing L that was him getting banned from this convention, Destiny also decided to take aim randomly.
It was GTA 4 was interesting, but I found it annoying, and it tried to be like too realistic. And I guess maybe they're trying to differentiate themselves from Saints Row, which came out, was leaning into the more wacky aspects of GTA. But I don't know. It didn't work for me. It was also very gray. You know, I wanted some more color in there. So 4 was kind of. I did, yeah. Nico, my cousin. Let's go bowling. That also too was very annoying. I played it. I owned it. I think I didn't finish it though, but I did finish 5. I got 5 and I finished 5. And this game I was talking about with Natch the other day when I started playing it. I got to the last level. I couldn't beat that mission. It was too difficult. Yeah, 4 was when they had the constant cell phone calls.
Kyle Kalinsky, who posts this innocuous joke. I guess this is what Abdul El Sayed was condemning the other day.
Kyle, you've been condemned by the Senate candidate from Michigan.
Yeah, and we reacted to that. You know, I understand why Abdul felt that he needed to put out that statement, but I still think it was a mistake to, pearl clutch over jokes coming from your own freaking supporters. Either way, yeah, it was a bad look.
Well,
a bunch of people that
I
are
think
about to go
the way Kyle is joking is a little bit tone deaf, honestly. And the fact that I haven't seen a clip of him being like, I was wrong about Platner, I feel so fucking bad about it, blah, blah, blah. He's just kind of like ignored it and moved on. I get why people look at the white left specifically and are like, are y'all even really serious? Do y'all even really give a shit? You know? Because this is like, one, you're body shaming, looks shaming, whatever the fuck, Haley Stevens. Which, like, okay, whatever, fine. You might want to let a woman do that, but okay. And then also you're saying it looks like Drewski. So I'm like, okay, so also maybe some like racist stuff in there. She looks like a black man doing white face. I don't know. All I'm saying, if I'm Kyle, I'm not making jokes like this right after the Platner shit.
El Sayed was condemning the other day.
Kyle, you've been condemned by the Senate candidate from Michigan.
Yeah, and we reacted to that. You know, I understand why Abdul felt that he needed to put out that statement, but I still think it was a mistake to pearl clutch over jokes coming from your own freaking supporters. Either way,
unnecessary.
Yeah, it was a bad look.
A bunch of people that are about to go gleefully fund a genocide are going to pearl clutch about mean names on Twitter.
Yeah, 100%. So and just let's just reload this one.
And you better believe
I should try the Ballad of Gay Tony. It was GTA 4. Yeah, I've heard about that one.
Custom Springs should see you hopping all the way home.
It looked cool.
Very popular with the SA.
But again, I didn't want to pay more money for a game I already didn't really like. But yes, I know what you mean. Because it's a completely separate story. So maybe. Okay.
I'm going to be doing it with a little bit of joy, a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of energy, and a little bit of sick it to them. Because that's the Michigan way.
That's the Michigan way. I love that shit so much. It's so funny. But yeah, Destiny, again, just Kyle, super innocuous joke. You can't convince me this isn't Drewski. And honestly, I didn't even thought of that, but does literally look like Drewski and sound like a fucking impression of a crazy voice. But either way, Destiny comes in with this crazy tweet. Reminder that this guy literally lied about his own father's death just to push Medicare for all or nothing on his channel. Which is, we're going to debunk it, obviously. But what a turn into darkness. Like, what the fuck? Kyle made a joke, and this is your fucking response? Reminding him of his father's death? Tweeting about this guy's father's death? Like, what a classless, trashy fucking loser. What a fucking piece of shit Destiny is for even talking about that. I mean, can you imagine Kyle posting about Destiny's father dying? I don't even know if Destiny's dad is still alive, but say he's passed away as well. Imagine Kyle or anybody. I wouldn't even fucking do that. I wouldn't fucking do that. That's a low blow. That's a fucking low blow. Why are you gonna go there, bro? What was your response to this?
Again,
I bring up the example of Kanye West, right? Because there's something that happens to a person's brain when they get so addicted to attention that they're willing to do anything to get some eyeballs on them. They, you know, it's like a child, it's like a toddler. When
Yeah,
they
I
say that
love all the
toddler, like,
customization
or a dog,
stuff
like a
in this
puppy,
game.
they don't know what kind
It's
of
so
attention you're
good.
giving them. They just know you're giving them attention, right? That's what Destiny has become, and that is what, you know, motivates you to fly to an event where you're not wanted, where you can get humiliated and make a scene, asking for the manager, having security called on you, right? Well, that didn't generate enough buzz for him, right? That was getting like 2,000 favorites on Twitter, right? Which is just abominable for somebody of Destiny's size.
Oh,
right?
is this the mission where you have to
Obviously,
like
it's more
move the
engagement than we
car
ever get on
around?
Twitter, but we don't have that many
think
Twitter
so.
followers.
Like
and
Parappa
Twitter
the
is
Rapper?
completely destroyed now. So it's just the same fucking people that have always supported Destiny coming out and saying, "Oh, we still support you," and he is making a fool of himself, right? And what he's done is he realizes, okay, going after Hassan alone is not enough to get me attention, right? So I have to go after Kyle Kalinske too, right? Because Kyle Kalinske is also one of the ginormous political figures on the online left that disagrees with Destiny and agrees with Hassan. So he's like, what's the most vile, fucked up thing I can say to Kyle so that Kyle will be forced to engage with me? And that's what Destiny wants here, right? This isn't for any other reason than to try and be like, I'm gonna hit Kyle with such a low blow that he has to respond to me, so I have some piece of content that I can mine for my audience that just wants to see me beef with
It's
people
Parappa
that
the
are to
Rapper.
my left, right? I think that's
It might get
entirely
annoying.
what he's doing here. He knows it's a lie. He knows it's a horrible look. He knows it's disgusting. He doesn't care about any of that. The only thing that he's seeing is his base being excited if he can get Kyle Kalinske to respond to him, to acknowledge him, to debate him, or get Kyle to say anything in response so that Destiny can quote tweet and be like, why won't you debate me then? Right? And that's what he's trying to do. That's why nobody wants to debate with Destiny. That's why nobody will engage with Destiny, because that's all he does. He says deranged, fucked up, horrible lies about you, and then when you do finally respond, you're just like, fuck you. He's like, oh, but you're too afraid to debate me, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's absolutely disgusting. And yeah, that's a great example of why we have no interest in debating Destiny, despite his eagerness and his enthusiasm to come on our show and have a conversation. You know, this every time we tweet about him, he's like, well, come and say it to my face. And he's like, I don't really have any interest in doing that. You're a low-life fucking scum. Fuck you. And, you know, I guess I'm interested in your opinion on the substance of this, because I've never seen any evidence that Kyle Kalinske lied about his father's death. Someone posted this clip in the comments, and it seems to be like posted to help bolsters Destiny's point or something. So let's take a look at this. And you know, I almost feel disgusting and gross even like talking about this on air. Like, oh, let's investigate the you know, passing away of Kyle Kalinske's father and see if, you know, it's really for the reason he said it was. Or, like, I just feel gross even having this conversation, but I do want to debunk this bullshit. So I feel like we should.
Oh yeah, and also look at how baby Kyle is right here. He's so young. I'm like, wow, I know you've been at this for a while, bro, because you watch these old clips, and it's true. You can watch old clips of me and Gavin when we're like 22 years old. We look like babies too.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is OG secular talk. But yeah, let's take a look and see if Kyle gets caught in a lie.
Did I do it?
Everything he makes comes from the spirit of his soul.
Not many people know this, and I don't think I've spoken about this on air yet. But one of the reasons my father died young is because of a chiropractor. Okay, you're probably thinking, whoa, what the fuck, are you serious? So my father, he smoked heavily his whole life. He died at the age of 56, okay, from lung cancer, and the cancer metastasized all over the place. Now, he's one of those guys who has this belief system that I totally disagree with. I always have. The idea that you never go to a doctor. Okay, you don't trust doctors, you never go to doctors, yada yada. Well, that was problem number one. Problem number two is when he started having some back pain, he didn't go to a doctor, he knew a chiropractor from the place where he would golf all the time. So he would go to that chiropractor's office, and he did the old routine, showed him the picture of the spine, which was the bent all over the place. I was like, oh goodness, there's my problem right there. That's why I have back pain. And so he would keep going to the doctor, and the chiropractor would crack his back. And he said, every time I leave, I feel better. Now, look, it is true. They're basically glorified massage therapists. You're going to feel better if you crack your back and they crack your neck and everything in many cases. It'll feel better, so you think you're actually doing something productive. But again, there's no...
Okay, so this actually completely validates everything that Kyle Kalinski's ever said. Let me unpack all of this for you guys. If you're not a fucking brain-dead asshole and you're actually interested in listening to us debunk this, this is a tale as old as time, right? Why do people go to chiropractors instead of the doctor, right? Why would Kyle's dad feel like he can't trust a doctor? Because when we teach you to go through this medical system in our country, one, it's incredibly expensive. Two, it has been turned into a business commodity. I was just going to the doctor the other day and I was getting pissed off. I was like, I feel like I'm at a fucking car dealership.
There we go.
Right? The first time that the doctor, I am lucky, right? I have insurance, I have United. I totally understand how Luigi feels after dealing with this rat bastard. But I have insurance, right? And I went to the doctor a few times over the last couple of weeks for the first time in like a decade, right? And I am a guy who, I grew up kind of being sus of the doctor. Don't love going to the doctor that much. My mother went to the chiropractor instead of the doctor because we were fucking poor. Okay, and that's what poor people do. They say, oh, it's only $150 for me to go and get this session here. How much is my copay? How much are these fucking things? Okay, but this actually ends up being less for my family if I do it this way, and it gives me.
Is this like if I want to do that again?
That's what poor people do because they don't have time to take time off of work, because they haven't been consistently coached that, hey, the doctor's there for you. They're not interested in getting money out from you, extracting you. People all over my family, they're so sus of the doctor for all of these kinds of reasons. And it's a very working class sensibility that leads you there. You're working hard all the time. You're worried about being nickel and dime when you go there. It's extremely anxiety inducing to have somebody examine you medically, but it's also doubly anxiety inducing if you don't know if you can fucking afford it. If you're a parent to children and you're thinking, why would I spend this money on me if I could spend it on my kid? This is what happens to people. And yeah, people smoke cigarettes because they're trying to relax, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? If somebody who smokes cigarettes, that's another sign of a working class life. Yes, I know rich people smoke cigarettes, but guess what? So do a ton of working class people who break their fucking back all day, right? I also see a bunch of stupid shit like, oh, dad, golf, must be rich. Bro, I know so many people that like to go drive balls that are fucking working class as hell. Almost all the working class.
Oh, right. Caesar is all the driving
like
missions.
A random place every once in a while. It's not country club golf. It's just crazy. This is nonsense. This is offensive, and it's why we need Medicare for all.
Yeah, no, 100%. And this isn't the only time Kyle's talked about it. That clip we played. He's talked about how part of, at least from my memory, I haven't gone back and looked at every single segment where Kyle talked about the tragic passing of his father, obviously, but from what I remember, he talked about the reason why his dad was so distrustful of the hospitals and of the doctors is because of how much they would fucking nickel and dime you. How much the bill you'd get after going for something minor, right? It is a total fucking ripoff. That's not necessarily the fault of the doctors, right? Most doctors, I think, 90% probably of people in the medical field genuinely want to help, and they're not trying to nickel and dime you and stuff. But as a system, yeah, it is a scam. It is a fucking ripoff. You shouldn't get a bill for thousands and thousands of dollars when you go have a simple procedure or something that's just like a minor checkup or something like that. And guess what? It is often one of those very expensive procedures. It's getting a cancer screening. Actually going in there not just for a checkup, not just where they grab your balls and fucking measure you or whatever, but when they actually do those intensive cancer screenings or actually like, let's check, let's see what's going on, let's do this. That's going to be a lot of fucking money, right? It's a lot less money just to go to the chiropractor. And again, that's what propelled Kyle's father, at least based on his story that he's told, to seek the help of the chiropractor over the help of the doctor. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, my favorite weapon, go to the doctor or something. Like, no, obviously it's more complicated than that. And
maybe an
Kyle
AK.
Discussed this over
or
and
the
over
samurai
again.
sword.
I've heard him discuss it many times, and of course it's nuanced. It's a combination of things. Yeah, obviously it's the fucking the smoking.
Yeah, they'll say your symptoms are non-specific and they can't help. Yeah.
The smoking, the chiropractor instead of the doctor, the lack of Medicare for all. It's a complex, stew of reasons. But that's fucking America. You know what I'm saying? That's what this fucking country is. People not going to the doctor for a multitude of reasons when it should be super easy and accessible to everybody. If it was, we'd see way less of these sort of early deaths because people would catch diseases and conditions before they got to the point of being terminal, right? That's one of the reasons why Medicare for all is so important, actually. Because it's actually more expensive to wait until you have cancer, to wait until you have some debilitating disease to get it fixed. It's much better to catch it early on and then prevent it entirely. which is what would happen way more often if we had Medicare for all. And with Medicare for all, you rebuild the trust between the people, the community, and the doctors and the medical institutions that they should be going to instead of some bullshit pseudoscientific chiropractor.
Yep, completely agree. So, yeah, fuck Destiny. This is really low. And if anybody's like, why is he doing this? Why would he lie about this? I guarantee you, because he's trying to say the most fucked up, unhinged thing that he can to Kyle to get Kyle to react to him, right? That's what it.
Yeah, it's a troll. He's a troll. That's all.
It is. He's trying to provoke Kyle into engaging with him because that's how desperate and washed up he is. He has no other way to generate content.
Yeah, that too. They do try to upsell you a lot, which is fucking up. Like, goddamn. This country fucking... We need to fix this shit fast. It's urgent.
It's honestly one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard Destiny say. Like, fucking shut the fuck up, bro. Like, if you have a substantive argument to make against Kyle, if you want to disagree with him about Israel and talk about how, actually Israel is, totally justified to commit a genocide and, kill hundreds of thousands of fucking children. Like, okay, talk about that. I guess that's no more defensible thing to say, actually. I take it back. Destiny should just shut the fuck up forever, delete his YouTube account and his Twitter account while he's at it. Because this is some really disgusting fucking shit. A real new low for Destiny that seems to be correlated to his crash out over the college dim event and him getting totally fucking humiliated and told to leave, right? This happened the same day.
It didn't generate enough buzz, so we had to try and think of something else.
Yep, and he was probably just pissed off. He's just angry. He's fucking lashing out. So he looks at Twitter, he sees this innocuous joke about his fucking hero, apparently, Haley Stevens. So he has to rush to the defense of Haley Stevens by posting smears about the death of Kyle Kalinski's father.
This is a troll thing. This is just a troll. Like, that's why I don't take him seriously. Vouch, similarly, again, I understand he's slightly better, but maybe he doesn't like crash out on Twitter as much anymore because he used to. But in his videos, that's where he really look. Both of them, the reason I equate them so much is they both have these bubbles that they've created where I've been canceled several times and I still have this base audience who will watch me. Let me point out some other motherfuckers, okay? These always pop into my head. Gus Johnson. YouTube comedian. Was doing pretty well. Some kind of falling out with like his wife and friend group in Los Angeles. Moved back home to Milwaukee, I think. Whatever. Still making his videos. Okay, he's also on Twitch, where he does a lot of streams.
Whoa,
some of them are
and any toppings for just $9.99 at Domino's.
Some of them are, I'm gonna open Pokemon cards or whatever. We're just streaming. We're just playing games. Skyrim, whatever it is. Pro Jared, another one, was canceled for like sexting a fan or some shit. Also, go to his YouTube. Still putting out videos, still making shit. He's on Twitch as well. The only reason I keep up with these is just because it sticks in my head of like how over their careers are. Ostracized from the friend groups, and then just still making shit because the base audience who's like, I didn't hear about the controversy or I did hear about it but I don't care, are still coming to watch. Gus Johnson. What happened with Gus? I don't even remember. Let me see. Gus Johnson controversy. Comedian and YouTuber Gus Johnson faced a major career controversy in late 2021 when his ex-girlfriend Abelina Sabrina publicly accused him of emotional abuse and neglect. She detailed how Johnson was unsupportive and dismissive during her life-threatening ectopic pregnancy, pressuring her regarding the pregnancy and failing to be present for her during emergency medical situations. I think it was like, it was similar to Chris Hardwick. Actually, let me see. Chris Hardwick accusations. 2018, actor and ex-girlfriend Chloe Dykstra wrote an essay on Medium alleging she was sexually and emotionally abused by an unnamed former partner. While she did not name him, details pointed to Hardwick. Hardwick vehemently denied the claims, blah, blah. That article was about how she was in the hospital for something to do with, like, her lady parts, to an extent. And he was basically like, how long until we can have sex again? Asking the doctor, how long until we can have sex again? That's what it was in the article, I believe. And I think this situation was, like, similar. This Gus Johnson situation. I don't know if it was like, how long can we fuck? But it was like, are we still going to be able to have kids? Blah, blah, blah. And again, I'm more focused on, like, making videos and stuff. To the point where, like, he had a comedy partner, Eddie Burback? These names, I don't know why I remember these names, dude. I should not know this much about fucking random YouTubers. But his buddy was like, I have no contact with him anymore. Like, I'm done, blah, blah, blah. Same thing happened with Pro Jared. He was texting fan something, cheating on his wife, and, you know, fans were like, no, we don't fuck with you anymore. The group Normal Boots, which was like him, Peanut Butter Gamer, Completionist, some other guys, disbanded. And then later, fucking Completionist would also have a controversy of his own. And also now he's back making videos and blah, blah, blah. It's weird. I bring all that up just to say, like, Destiny and Vouch also got canceled. Also, multiple times. Like, oh, your career's over. Nobody watches you, blah, blah, blah. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Again, it's either people who are new, who don't know the controversies. It's the people who have been watching and just don't know the controversies. Or it's people who know and don't care. Or it's people who find out about the controversy and is like, actually, that's dope. We love that. And for someone like Gus Johnson or Pro Jared, it's no biggie. Who cares, right? They're playing video games on Twitch. Who gives a shit? When it comes to Destiny, Vouch, people trying to get involved in, like, politics and actually, like, be on campaigns and endorse people, and if your name is tied to this streamer, that's a problem because they can pull up all the past streams. They're doing it with Hassan. He has bad moments and bad clips and shit. For sure, over the last 10 years of streaming 8 hours a day. But his are way less and way more defensible or disregardable for a politician than anything Vouch or Destiny has said and done. You know what I mean? So I think that's where I'm coming from. And again, I get the difference. Destiny is definitely worse, and he is just a straight up troll.
Disgusting thing to do. What a disgusting human being. I don't know how many more times I can say disgusting in this live stream, but that's pretty fucking disgusting.
Yeah, bloody disgusting.
And now this Joe Rogan one.
Raising Cane's.
Yo, I've been seeing Raising Cane's commercials too many times, and I don't think there's one in New York. And also, was that fucking Chuck Norris who's dead?
Tim Dillon is not a guy whose political analysis should be taken seriously, but every once in a while, Gavin and I like to react to these bro podcast guys just because I think they're a good barometer for what the temperature of the country is, right? These were guys that were absolutely thrilled to do the grift work in the lead up to the 2024 election. Oh, it's raining money if I pretend that Donald Trump is actually edgy and cool and he's the outsider, man. So they were happy to do that. These people have no souls. If you ever want to see a real clear juxtaposition of morality, watch the Joe Rogan Experience episode on election night with Kyle Kalinske and Tim Dillon, right? You'll really get a clear understanding of who understands the stakes in this world and who does not, who is only out for themselves, who is entirely...
Yeah, I knew a comedian who opened for Tim Dillon. Yeah, I think Chuck Norris is dead, dude. Either they filmed that commercial before, or that's AI. Yeah. 2026, so it was March this year. He was 86 years old, dude. That's crazy.
Really selfish, right? And I think a lot of the...
Tim Dillon is yes, nihilist. Don't believe in anything, only believes if you can make money, make it and get out. Because he was on Wall Street during the Great Recession, saw people get away with crime. It disillusioned him. He was like, oh, nothing matters. And, that was it.
criticisms that JD Vance, that Tim Dillon will launch at people who are still followers of JD Vance absolutely apply to himself. But these guys love to rewrite history. They love to pivot on a dime, and they love to act like they were never fooled by anything. They were absolutely fooled by all of this, and it's just interesting to see that they now want no part of it.
Yeah, 100%. I think Tim Dillon's got away with this the most, this sort of change in tact and, switching lanes a little bit, even though he totally supported Donald Trump. He's gotten away with it for a couple of reasons. One, he's actually funny. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these comedians, they just aren't fucking funny. And humor goes a long way in order to, get people to forgive you. Look at how Tim Dillon handled the Riyadh situation with Saudi Arabia, right? Like, he just handled it with self-deprecating humor. And he
was on Majority Report. And they interviewed him. Hey, you're on the ground there. On this newfangled YouTube thing. How's that working out? That's a crazy interview to go back and watch. I did that like a while ago, a couple years ago. God damn it! I keep misclicking something. It's so annoying. I can't even see which one I'm... Remember that because the other Tim, yeah.
Plays this nihilistic character that doesn't take himself very seriously in the first place. I don't think people look at Tim Dillon really as some sort of moral leader or even a serious political analyst. So I think he's gotten away with this a lot more than some of his fellow podcast bros. And I do really appreciate him absolutely destroying JD Vance in this clip. So let's take a look.
This guy's the vice president of the United States of America, going on the biggest podcast in the world, going, yep. I read all the files. Trump's innocent. Also, I'll always believe there was a greater conspiracy there. I'll always think something was going on. But what am I going to do? I'm the vice president. That's J.D. Vance's character arc right now. Is his whole entire thing is just telling people what the vice president can't do. Like, what about the war in Iran? He goes, there's not much I can do. I just kind of hang out and, watch as I'm part of the administration that betrays its voters and does the opposite of everything it said it was going to do. I just kind of hang out and...
Yeah, you were the guy that promoted them. You were the guy that constantly came out and shat all over the Democrats and talked about how Joe Biden was a disaster and he was incompetent, and anybody who was able to actually steer the ship would be able to navigate the geopolitics of the time. cinch up the situation with Russia and Ukraine. Oh, make sure that Gaza's saved, right? This is all going to be easy work, light work for the Trump administration. That was what you presented to your audience constantly, right? And you made no mention of the fact that for the first 4 years when Donald Trump was our fucking president already, that all he did was escalate with Iran, that all he did was stoke tensions internationally, that all he did was give Israel everything they ever fucking wanted. I doubt you even know what the Abraham Accords was, but that happened during Donald Trump's first administration, and it was a massive expanse. It was a huge gift to Israel. He did what no other fucking president had ever done, which was move the embassy and recognize this, that, you know, Jerusalem was the rightful capital of Israel. All this stupid fucking bullshit that everybody pretended didn't happen. It was the, you know, he assassinated Qasem Soleimani. He allowed Jamal Khashoggi to get butchered by the fucking Saudis. You guys pretend to care about corruption. Like, this is absolutely absurd. All of that had happened already, and yet you played dumb because you knew it was raining dollar bills for idiots that would promote Donald Trump.
Yeah, so well said.
I'm sick of hearing about this deep state. All of these people, you have to be one of the stupidest people in the world to fall for this shit at this point. You are peddling the dumbest, most, like, by the way, I hate to use this word, but cringe. It's literally cringe. You watch this and you go, I feel so disgusted by the fact that they think people are still gonna believe this shit.
Dude, they will, and your entire legacy is going to be remembered as a MAGA comic who ushered this in. You are going to be remembered as one of the...
Sorry. I can never remember anything about this guy other than he's loud. Yeah. I mean, they're right. They're right. He's trying to distance himself. However, again, I will point to the general audiences thing. I think general audiences don't know who he is. I think he goes out on a comedy stage, not at the mothership, not where he's headlining. He goes out on the road, people don't know who the fuck he is. I think he gets away with it. I think he absolutely agents, managers, if he's trying to get a gig, like a acting role or whatever it is, or, hey, let me host this show, blah, blah, blah. Point to my podcast. Look at me criticizing J.D. Vance and these Trump fucks, like, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I think that's why he wears the glasses and the hat, for sure. At least on this show. He doesn't do it when he goes on Rogan and stuff, but I think he gets away with it. I think people don't care that much, dude, honestly. That's why, like, my criticism of their commentary on Bill Burr, like, I don't think anyone gives a fuck. I think if Bill Burr goes on tour, they're not giving a shit that he went to Riyadh. Let me just leave this big. I'll just move myself over here.
Droppings, a significant dropping, sure. Neck and neck with like a Tom Segura, sure. A dropping from the Joe Rogan Experience that ushered in the MAGA movement 2.0. That is your legacy because you literally have the audacity. You're not a fool. I know you're just so confident in how foolish your audience is that you could talk about, like, oh, it's just been a revolving door, Pam Bondi's out, all these people are out. Like, you didn't watch the first Trump administration? Do you remember what happened to John Bolton, the guy who wanted to go to war with Iran? Yeah, he was Donald Trump's first pick 1.0. How about Mike Pompeo, right? How about sloppy Steve Bannon? Do you see them running around the White House this time around? This is exactly what Donald Trump does. Why do you think J.D. Vance is the vice president? You're talking shit on him. What happened to the first vice president? What happened?
Dylan's fans tend to not be the most conscious. Dude, I'm telling you, all of them. Like, Joe Rogan, if he wanted to tomorrow, just be like, yeah, I don't really like Trump. I think Bernie's the guy, blah, blah, blah. Go that way. His fans would be like, he was always a Bernie guy. What are you talking about? Bernie was on his show in 2016. What happened in those 10 years, dude? What happened in those 10 years? I really think not enough people are going to get the shit that they deserve for their part in this. I mean, dude, Andrew Schultz, big part of this too. He's in Street Fighter, the movie. He was in Street Fighter, the movie, before he denounced Trump. Now he did like a half-hearted denouncement. I don't think Trump's good. This ICE shit is bad, blah, blah, blah. The end. Now it's just going to be fine. Going on press junkets for Street Fighter and all that shit. So, like, I really don't think a lot of these comedians are going to get held to account. I don't really think they even should, to an extent. Like, again, I would hope that the audience is like, no, fuck you, I'm not listening anymore, or I'm not going to buy a ticket to your show, whatever it is. I just don't think they care that much. I think the best that's going to happen is, like, every now and then you'll get a story of, like, a heckler at a mothership show, or people stop buying tickets to the mothership and it closes down. Joe Rogan has to move back to Los Angeles. I don't know. But I don't think it's going to be this, like, end of The Godfather. Everybody's getting taken out. Everyone's getting arrested and whatever kind of scene when the fascism falls, dude. I don't even think some of those people are going to jail, dude. Even if we get President AOC, Vice President Ilhan Omar, I don't know, Rashida Tlaib, like, I don't think Trump's going to jail. Maybe Trump. Either he's not going to jail or he's the only one who goes to jail. And, like, Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance, all these fucks, like, skate. I've been a Street Fighter fan since my childhood. I refuse to see this movie because Schultz is in it. Again, like, if you want to see it, you should go see it. It doesn't, like, it's not, he's not the one who made it. You know, he doesn't own the studio who's going to make the money from it. You know, or pirate it, you know, sail the seven seas. But it's not really going to matter that much. It's really not going to matter that much. You know, I mean, look, I went to go see the Odyssey. Christopher Nolan's a libertarian. You know what I mean? Like, who else is in there? Who's problematic? Fucking John Barenthal, the Punisher, is a propaganda lover. Loves that cops. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know how much this shit matters. I like that they're talking about it. I like talking about it. I like pointing it out, making sure people remember. Tim Dillon was there. You know, Rogan was there. Schultz was there promoting Trump. Don't let him get away with it. I think more what's going to happen is, like with Tony Hinchcliffe, they're going to eventually have to put out a special. Because you're a comedian. Ostensibly, that's your job. You're a comedian. And you got to put out a comedy special. And it's going to come out, and it's not going to be good, and that's going to be the end. Like, I wonder how many people are still buying Tony Hinchcliffe tickets who saw that special and was like, ugh. Your whole show is judging open micers, and you can't even fucking do a room of fans coming to see you? Tempted to see the Odyssey, but not sure I have the attention span. I thought the same thing. I didn't even want to see it. But then the hype of the last couple weeks, and I'm like, all right, I'll go see it. I'll go check it out just to see it so I can shit on it in a review. And goddamn it, I liked it. It didn't even feel like 3 hours. There was a couple moments where it dragged a bit. Towards the end, I started to feel its length, but it was fucking captivating, man. Captivating. And I am not a Nolan dick sucker, dude. I do not give a fuck. I think the best Nolan movies are the 3 movies with Batman in it. Yeah. Claims to be a libertarian, but supports the monarchy. What the fuck? But yes, I was begrudgingly like, God damn it, Nolan, you made a fucking good movie. God damn it, it's so good. It's so good. When I came home yesterday, I wanted to watch it again. It didn't feel like 3 hours. It just felt like I'm on a boat. I'm experiencing this journey. It's also kind of funny. Because Odysseus is an idiot. Hell, let me show you my thumbnail I made for my review. I have an idea. Aw, shit. Here we go again. Because that's the whole movie. The whole movie is Odysseus being like, I have an idea. And his men being like, God damn it, we're going to fucking die, aren't we? And then the answer is yes.
Mike Pence, do you not remember? You are the one that is shit for brains. You are the one that has an audience of absolute fools. The dumbest people on planet Earth watch you. That will be your legacy. And if you are being honest for half a second that you're actually disgusted by this, just wait until you watch what happens 10, 15 years, how you remember.
Yeah, and speaking of idiots who apparently don't remember what happened to Mike Pence, I mean, enter J.D. Vance himself. I remember what happened to Mike Pence. He almost got killed by a methed up lynch mob, a methed up MAGA lynch mob. Literally, almost got hung. But J.D. Vance was like, sign me up, I want that neck. I want to be almost fucking lynched by a mob of fucking methed up Trump supporters. That's what he said.
No, because J.D. thinks, oh, well, I'll just not do that. I won't get in this problem because when Trump asked me to, like, find the votes or whatever, I'll just find the votes. God, I got to keep moving myself around when I watch Vanguard clips.
Up for here. So let's take a look. And, you know, this is what Tim Dillon was mostly referencing.
But if people want to say we mishandled the Epstein release, guilty. We did mishandle it, especially the communications of it.
What do you think should have been done?
I think that we should have just dropped everything at the very beginning. And, like, obviously it takes a little time to review the stuff, to find the stuff.
That would have been a wild start to the Trump presidency. What a great fucking idea, Mr. Vance. We should have just dropped it all week one. Oh, yeah, here's a bunch of incriminating, sketchy-ass fucking information that definitely implicates the new president of the United States. That would really set the tone.
Honestly, not a bad idea. I agree with Vance. You know why? Because see how fast Odysseus was lucky his men weren't unionized? Yeah, I know, for real. You see how fast the news moves? They could have done that. Dropped it all, made it haphazard and complicated, right? So people wouldn't even know what they're looking at, like they've been doing. We drop it all at once, and we're moving on. Epstein files are out. Goodbye. Anyways, moving on to Infrastructure Week or whatever the fuck. And I think it would have worked. I think MSNBC and CNN wouldn't harp on it every fucking day like they haven't been. They're still going after the media and still like, I'm going to sue you. The FCC is going to come after you. Whatever the fuck. And it would have been something else. And it wouldn't be like still this albatross hanging over them. He's kind of right. And it fucking sucks for me to say that because he's a piece of shit.
4 years. Like, that's not even good advice either, bro. No wonder Trump fucking hates you and doesn't ever take your advice seriously.
It's not a good lie. Obviously, the reason they haven't released this information is because they can't, because Donald Trump is all over it, right? Do you think if it was just a bunch of incriminating shit about Bill Clinton that Donald Trump would be sitting on it for this long? You're crazy.
Redact things where you have victims and so forth, but we should have just done it as quickly as possible.
But some of the stuff that was redacted, some of the names that were redacted weren't victims.
So, yeah, I've looked.
Like Donald Trump's name, that was pretty redacted.
Looked into this, and my understanding of this, having looked at a lot of this, but not all of it, is
I've looked at a lot, but not all.
It is sometimes hard.
I'm kind of an expert, but I'm also naive. Like, I'm sitting literally directly on the middle of a fence.
To draw a distinction between victim and co-conspirator. And, like, let me highlight this in a very sort of obvious way. Ro Khanna, who's been one of the loudest voices on the Epstein file. Well, he became very loud on the Epstein files the minute Donald Trump became president, didn't seem to care about it during the Biden administration. He actually brought one of the Epstein victims, I think, to the State of the Union last year, or maybe it was the year before last. Well, like that.
Again, hate to agree with this fucking couch fucker, but yeah, when Biden was president, why not? Because we're too busy not prosecuting Trump for the coup, right? Merrick Garland's not doing shit. We also don't want to, we're also the party of standards and practices. We don't want to influence the DOJ to do an investigation because that's not right. Now you're letting Trump do whatever because of, you're idiots. You're idiots. Absolutely, Biden should have been like, I'm instructing the DOJ to investigate the entire Epstein files, whoever the fuck is in it, including Bill Clinton. Fuck all of you. Absolutely should have done that. Absolutely should have done that. So that JD Couchfucker doesn't have this line of attack. And so maybe Trump's in fucking prison and can't fucking run.
Victim, and I'm not saying she wasn't a victim. I don't know anything about her particular case. She was also listed as a co-conspirator in some of these documents, right? So there's an idea that some.
Hey, didn't Donald Trump's biggest political ally in 2024 and his #1 donor say he was in the Epstein files? What's your response to that, JD Vance? This is the kind of shit Joe Rogan would be asking if he wasn't an absolute doofus.
Yeah, or hey, didn't Jeffrey Epstein call Donald Trump his best fucking friend? Yeah. But they're literally going, if you watch this whole interview, JD Vance literally tries to go with the excuse of like, oh, Donald Trump actually, he blew the whistle. Like, yes, he was friends with Epstein, but he's the one that called the cops. He blew the whistle, bro. He was a white hat pedophile. Yeah, exactly. He was working for the feds the whole time, bruh. All those parties he went to, all those underage women he had inappropriate relationships with, that was law enforcement work, obviously. You didn't literally go that far, but still.
He's a hero, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. Straight up admitting that the Trump administration mishandled the Epstein file release. Again, I don't know how they could have properly handled it with Donald Trump being all over that shit. But it's definitely pretty funny that he's, admitting to them mishandling it. It's not just Tim Dillon that's kind of turned on JD Vance. Let's take a look at the comment section for JD Vance on the Joe Rogan Experience. This is Joe Rogan's own comment section. JD, I've never heard of that, Vance. At what point does this become too embarrassing for the American people to stomach any longer? Like 10 years ago when Trump was first, it's been too embarrassing for Americans to stomach for a long time, at least this American. Let's ask Perplexity if you campaigned on no new wars. And that's a obvious shot at Joe Rogan, whose podcast is now sponsored by Perplexity. And now sometimes Joe Rogan will literally have to ask Jamie to pull it up, ask Perplexity. Ask Perplexity. That's, it happens to be our sponsor, but, just ask Perplexity, by the way. So that's pretty funny. Again, seems like there's some backlash, not just against Vance and Trump, but, Joe Rogan himself. Their gaslighting just doesn't work anymore. We ain't beating the compromised allegations with this one, boys.
It's brutal, guys. And again, it's criminal that Tim Dillon isn't here to co-host. Bro, Tim Dillon is another fucking idiot. This is what pisses me off. And this is how you can tell that Joe Rogan has an audience of literal dumb people. It's like, I want another guy that was in on it to help me hold you to account. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, you literally are a mark. When we talk about marks, right, it's Gavin and I referencing old professional wrestling, right? A mark is a person who actually believes in the theater, right? When they go to the wrestling match, wrestling is real in the sense that these guys are putting their bodies through hell, but the story, the narratives, that's all made up, right? They're not actually sleeping with each other's lives, and they're not actually, doing all these narrative things, right? That's what they get people to believe in, right? And that's the story, and that's the, soap opera of professional wrestling. If you're a mark, you think that's all real, right? And the Jaden D'Angelo's of the world, I'm sorry to highlight this for you, brother, but you are a mark. Joe Rogan's whole role right now is to thread the needle and to be like, oh, I want to maintain ties and proximity to Donald Trump and JD Vance, but I also want to maintain ties to Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon is looking around and being like, I want to maintain ties to Joe Rogan, but I want nothing to do with Donald Trump and JD Vance because I've already wrung that rag dry. Like, do you see what's happening right here, you guys? It's all a work.
Yeah, 100%. But that being said, as I mentioned, I think Tim Dillon is significantly funnier than Joe Rogan, which is why he's been able to get away with this a lot more. Totally. And he doesn't get hounded by the audience as much. In fact, here they're celebrating him. And I think that, Tim Dillon probably sees that lane there. He's like, okay, well, if people like Joe Rogan are just going to keep doing this, stupid, boring, phony Trump propaganda, then I'm going to take the lane of being the edgy guy who says what they won't. And who honestly says what everyone else in my audience is probably thinking, right? Tim Dillon's really good at telling his audience what they want to hear. When it was exciting to be on the Trump train, he was excited to be the conductor, right? Now that it's not cool to be into Trump, he's more than happy to fill that lane of being the guy who will bash Trump and make funny jokes about how lame JD Vance is, even though, again, a year or two ago, he was going to dinner with JD Vance and all this embarrassing shit. So, that's pretty interesting. But I do think it's fascinating the fact that this comment section is not happening. Again, this is not some left-wing channel. We're looking at the comments up. This is the Joe Rogan Experience itself. And, it seems like almost nothing but negative comments. The Swamp Experience. If you look close, you can see the strings on Vance's shoulder. That's pretty funny. Again, I haven't seen a positive
4K
comment at all.
upvotes on a comment about the USS Liberty. That's crazy. That's
yeah, that is pretty.
That's the fucking ship that Israel sank.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, what is this?
Yeah,
right. That's crazy. And you know what's even more embarrassing, Zach? Joe Rogan followed up this interview with an interview of Mr. Beast. So fucking cringe, so fucking lame, and it really does just prove that at this point he's not really all that interested in having really genuinely fascinating conversations with people. He just wants to have this circle jerk of millionaires and billionaires and powerful people and influencers. And
I saw a train and I was like, oh no. But I'm not on a bike, so I know it's not. But I was like, wait a minute, does this mission start with a car? Oh shit. Alright, give me a second. I gotta do some work.
Fascist politicians on. What a nightmare double feature / blunt rotation.
By the way,
Joe Rogan.
Appreciate y'all being here still. Natch, Pinkerbell, Latino, John Lithium. Really appreciate y'all being here. Etch, Pinker, all of you. Like, it really does warm my heart that I can go live and there's somebody watching. More height if you're still there.
JD Vance and Mr. Beast.
I like to think of Jimmy Donaldson as a perfect foil to myself, right? We're both from Kansas. We both have.
I always forget his name is Jimmy Donaldson.
Yep, he's like 6'7". I'm like 5'8", right? So we're perfect opposites in that sense. He's a psychopath. I'm a good person. I'm poor. He's really rich. You know what I'm saying? And I love to prey on his downfall. And it does seem like the era of Mr. Beast is starting to end, right? And it's
You know why it's starting to end? Because the audience grew the fuck up. So many of those people. So all of this, right? Now, Rogan, it's harder because those are man babies, not just man children. Not just children. So they might never grow up. And that's kind of a good base to have, right? But when you're talking about Mr. Beast or like YouTube creators, a lot of times their numbers start going down because people don't give a shit anymore, man. Like, when did you stop being interested in the Power Rangers? Or checking in on what the new cartoon is on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network? Like, that's what happens. But now, people are nostalgic for YouTubers that they used to watch, or Twitch streamers, or whatever. Or like a specific era of a Twitch streamer. I miss when Ethan Klein used to do the Beanies and the Vape Nation. Now he's just talking on the podcast the whole time. I checked out with the podcast. I checked out at this point. Like, that's it. Sometimes you just get bored of a certain kind of show. And that's it. That's fine. Mr. Beast, that's why he was smart. And he's like, okay, as soon as I can, I'm going to make moves in the, like, legit entertainment industry. I'm going to make deals with Amazon. I'm going to make fucking chocolate bars and burger stands and whatever the fuck I can do so that when inevitably my audience grows up and loses interest, and maybe you can catch the next generation too and blah, blah, blah. Who knows? But inevitably, there's going to be an outgrowth of people who just outgrew me. And you got to be ready for that. I mean, that's Miley Cyrus making the change. I'm going to twerk on Robin Thicke, and that's going to convince everybody that I'm an adult artist now. Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, all of them had a moment of like, I'm not Disney, I'm not kid-friendly anymore, because I recognize that the kids who liked my music and built my career are now in high school, and they don't want, it's embarrassing to still be listening to NSYNC in high school. So now you listen to Justin Timberlake. Oh, he's doing sexy back. He said the word sex. That's edgy. You know what I mean? Great stream and chat, Alex. Thank you so much. Also winding down here, but we'll stop by Peps for a bit when he goes live. Word. Sleep calls soon. I know. I didn't know you were in India, man. That's fucking far. Appreciate you watching. It feels like as years go on, specific YouTube niches get more content saturated and exhaustion quicker. Absolutely. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Prank YouTube. That's a good example. Mr. Beast came out of that, right? I'm going to prank my friends, or I'm going to make my friends do these weird, wacky things that are basically Jackass or Fear Factor. And that shit's just not as popular anymore. Now it's about reacting to clips or commentary videos, whatever it is. It changes and people outgrow it. People outgrow it. That's why I'm trying to make shit that is evergreen. This is my first reaction to this album. It will always be my first reaction to this album. This is my review of this movie. It's always going to be my review of this movie at this time. I don't know. And it's also what I'm interested in. I'm not, if you ever see me go, hey, my name's Alex, and this is fucking Jackass. One, that's how I started making movies when I was a kid. But two, you'll know I found a niche, and it pays, and I'm making money this way. Don't hate me.
Common for YouTubers to get really, really big, and then once the mainstream sort of catches up to the fact that they're really big, their time has already passed a little bit. The same thing happened with Rogan. Rogan never, ever, ever had the cultural power that he did after Spotify, after the mainstream media really caught up with him. And I think, we're about to watch Mr. Beast go through his, PewDiePie era, right? Where it's just like, oh, hey, we have this guy who still has 150 million subscribers, or however many fucking millions of subscribers he has, but he doesn't generate any cultural buzz.
Yeah, not really. I mean, we talked about what a miserable failure his Lunchables...
Bro, I mean the Lunchables thing. But do you remember when Robin thinks Dumbass was plagiarizing Marvin Gaye? I do not know that. Is that why he's not around anymore? Because that's really funny. But I was going to say, do y'all remember Ninja? Y'all remember Ninja? Ninja was maybe the first Twitch streamer to cross over into public, hey, he was on New Year's Rockin' Eve. He was a host on TV shows and shit like that. I don't know if he's still streaming. I'm sure he is. I'm sure I'm just not the audience. You know what I mean? Let's see, his YouTube channel. Damn, he got 23 million? Well, let's see. Yeah, 3 days ago. Fortnite. It's all Fortnite. So it's I wonder if he's fuck this mainstream shit. Fuck the mainstream shit. This pays more. Every minute that I'm not sitting in this chair on Twitch, I'm losing this amount of money. Maybe that's the calculation. Maybe mainstream Hollywood got tired of him and didn't want to hire him anymore. I don't know. But it's not... it's not as if, again, his fans, I'm sure, grew out of him, but there's enough people who are still playing Fortnite and younger people who start playing Fortnite who are looking for content creators and are this is the biggest one. You know what I mean? Thick's career and marriage went up in smoke due to his unforced error. Oh, really? Interesting.
Knockoff was the I don't even remember what they call it, Lunchleys or whatever the fuck, with the drippy cheese and all that stupid bullshit. Total flop. They were covered in mold. Barely anyone buys them anymore. Probably not even being sold in fucking stores.
They are.
Same with his Beast burgers, which were totally disgusting. One time I had a friend who DoorDashed one, and it literally...
I did that. I was like, you have I opened DoorDash to find out what I wanted to eat. I saw he had a fucking burger joint, and I was like, let's see what you got. And it was fucking nothing. It was this might have come from Shake Shack. It's fine. There's no specific reason to order it from here.
Couldn't eat more than one bite.
I was gonna say, I never tried it.
He was like, this is fucking disgusting. And I was like, well, I could have told you that. Why'd you order?
It's probably expensive too. Probably spent $30 on this.
It was expensive.
I mean, it's hard to DoorDash anything without spending $30, to be totally honest. But yeah, just for one burger, I mean, that's an outrageous fucking ripoff.
Can I tell you guys my grandma flex? I don't think I have DoorDash anything since the pandemic.
Hell yeah, bro. I think I've done it a few times drunkenly. I got some Taco Bell, but before the diarrhea lettuce, so thank God.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, dude. People keep like on Reddit, they're like, I don't know, guys, is it worth it to get their $3 steak burrito? Get the lettuce on it. I'm like, I'm not rolling the dice for shit at Taco Bell right now.
Yeah, definitely not. But either way, this is the comment section on the Mr. Beast interview, and we see similar sentiment. Joe's on a mission to interview every member of the New World Order. That's hilarious. So yeah, the Netanyahu interview coming any day now. That's hilarious. So, you know, it does seem like there's a genuine audience revolt here, at least on YouTube. You know, people have made the point that, like, well, YouTube isn't everything. A lot of people just listen to Joe Rogan on Spotify, and just, you know, in one ear, out the other. They don't think too much about it. But at least on YouTube, that's the platform that we reside on, the swamp waters that we swim in. And on YouTube, it seems like there's a clear audience revolt here.
We're getting into a fucking firefight right now. All right, so I did see some Casa del Vanguard that I wanted to watch. Casa del. It's so hard to keep up with everybody, dude. Everybody puts out so much shit like every day. Not that I'm complaining. I got stuff to watch, but you know. Check goes out. Gary Miscahill.
We got one more clip, Zach, related to this Rokana debacle.
Hey, what up, Joker?
Coming out.
What up, Dead End Joker? Welcome. Appreciate you. If you're wondering where everyone is in chat, they're over on YouTube. I appreciate you, though, popping in on Twitch. I'm going to hit the bathroom real quick. Corporate media is scapegoating Taco Bell to protect the actual lettuce supplier. Word. Hey, Joker, Johnny Doolittle, what's going on? What up, YouTube? Yeah. That is a good point, though. Yes, they are trying to protect the lettuce supplier.
Here to defend Rokana, but to be fair, he also, you know, does seemingly agree with Jeremy Cahill as well. But I still think it's fair to say he calls out Jeremy here for kind of putting Ro in the hot seat, despite Rokana being, in Jank's estimation, one of, if not the very best congresspeople on this issue.
Okay, yeah, that's what. So that Scahill's criticism aimed towards American media or other American politicians is perfectly justifiable. But Ro Khanna's not in that camp. Ro Khanna is the only congressperson that went to the West Bank to hear their side of the story, while all the others are going to kiss the wall and kiss Netanyahu's ass and taking all these BS propaganda things. What are you beating up on Ro Khanna for? Literally the very best person in Congress on this issue, right?
That's a fucking lie, for one. I don't know why you're allergic to the name of Rashida Tlaib. Let me help you pronounce it, Cenk. Rashida Tlaib. Her and Ilhan Omar, particularly Rashida Tlaib, the two clear moral leaders in Congress on this issue. Rashida Tlaib herself is a Palestinian American from Michigan, with representing a district of folks who are among the most densely populated Palestinian Americans in the nation, right? What are you talking about? Rashida Tlaib has been morally ahead of and on the forefront of this issue for far longer than Ro Khanna.
Even before the October 7th and the genocide that followed.
Absolutely. And the only reason he won't talk about her is because she's not part of your stupid fucking pack. Oh, she's not part of the revolution or whatever. So fuck you, Cenk. Are you kidding me? Ro Khanna's the best on this. That's an obvious fucking lie, dude.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even if he is the only one that's visited the West Bank, which is that the case? It seems crazy. But even if it is the case, I mean, and Rashida Tlaib has good reason to actually fear for her genuine safety were she to go there. She could actually get fucking killed.
Yeah.
You know, by settlers, by the IDF. So I wouldn't blame her if she doesn't want to go, because she's like, yeah, I don't really need to go. I already know. I'm literally Palestinian American. I have family there. I don't need to see with my own eyes. I fucking understand. So, you know, that being said, even if Ro Khanna is the only one that's gone, that doesn't necessarily make it the best.
Yeah, and actually it looks like way back in 2019, there's an article about Rashida Tlaib having to make an emotional decision to not visit her grandmother in the West Bank. Rashida said that she should be on a plane to see her, but because of the Israeli government, like, she didn't feel safe going there.
So yeah, since they barred her from going, I think, in that article, right?
The Israeli government barred Tlaib and Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota from entry over their support for BDS. So I guess, yeah, that's why they didn't. Israel's decision to deny entry. Yeah, so no shit, that's why she hasn't gone. Let me throw that up on screen just so everybody can see that. Took us like fucking 30 seconds.
Crazy for Cenk to omit that.
Yeah, the Israeli government barred Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar of Minnesota from entry over their support.
I think he's afraid of her, yeah.
Israel, shortly after Donald Trump said Israel would be showing great weakness by allowing the two Democratic congresswomen to enter the country. Again, this is in 2019, you guys. This is 7 years ago. This is 4 years before October 7th. So how dare Cenk say this shit?
Yeah.
Whether you're a seasoned off-roader or getting your vehicle trail ready, Harbor Freight offers rugged winches.
Yeah, that's honestly pretty crazy. I didn't even realize that she was literally barred from entry, both of them. So either way, let's hear some more of this because it gets crazier.
Now, having said that, I still agree with Ro, which is this is the right way to go. Jeremy's not wrong about what happened in the March of Return. And another reason why our national media is a bunch of monsters. They're deeply immoral people. So the Palestinians did it the right way, the peaceful way, and the Israelis slaughtered them. That's where Shireen Abu Akleh was killed. That's an American journalist, and a sniper shot her in the neck and murdered her. CNN and the American government acknowledged that it was an assassination of an American journalist, and they said, oh, that's okay. Israel gets to do it. Israel gets to murder anyone they like. Israel gets to be terrorists. Israel gets to murder American citizens and American reporters, and we're not going to complain about it, and it's all the Palestinians' fault. So we know, Jeremy, we all know the American media and 94% of the politicians in America are disgustingly racist. They despise Muslims, and they have a total double
I mean, she's
standard.
amazing.
The guy who
Rashida's
least
amazing.
deserves that criticism is Ro Khanna, and despite all of that, if we go towards violence, we're never, ever going to win. And not only is it not the moral path, it's also not the strategically correct path.
I can't take this. I can't take this. Imagine having the audacity, imagine having the gall to be Cenk Uygur, and you're trying to give like strategic advice to Jeremy Scahill. You're trying to explain, you're basically mansplaining the situation to Jeremy Scahill, who has done actual reporting for decades. Literally 20 fucking years of some of the best goddamn reporting coming out of the Middle East has been because of Jeremy Scahill. To try and mansplain, to try and like condescend to this man who has achieved so much more than you, who has been so much more instrumental to the Palestinian cause than you will ever be, that's just absolutely insane, right? Absolutely insane. While you're out here parading around Marjorie Taylor Greene, kissing Tucker Carlson's ass, Jeremy Scahill has been doing just indispensable reporting on Drop Site News. And for you to try and come out here and be like, oh, he doesn't understand that Ro Khanna is actually the good guy because he's in the revolution, all right? It's just absolutely absurd. It's laughable. It makes Cenk look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and Jeremy Scahill didn't go into that interview like looking to tear down Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna just gave bad answers to questions he was asked and then received pushback. That's how like good journalism should work. And Jake should know that because he's himself doled out some pretty harsh interviews to Mr. Ro Khanna back during the Biden era. One of my favorite interviews Jake ever did was with Ro Khanna during the Biden era. I don't even remember it was the Build Back Better, the bifurcating the bills, and Ro Khanna, kind of led the way to make that happen, enabled the bifurcation of the bills, which allowed Biden's agenda to totally get destroyed. And Jake held him to fucking task. He absolutely grilled him. It was great to watch. It was a great interview from Jake's perspective. But again, he asked tough questions. That's all Jeremy Scahill did. If you watch that interview with Ro Khanna back from like 2021 or 2022, Jake got just as intense with his pushback and with his follow-up questions as Jeremy got with Ro Khanna in his interview. So I don't really understand what that's about. But again, this is going to get even crazier as Jake again goes into this very Disney-fied version of history. Non-violence is always the answer every time. Don't you know about Martin Luther King and shit, right? So let's hear this and get a load of Jake's statements.
Tunes, thank you so much, Tunes, for the subscription. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Warms my heart. Thank you.
Going to win. And not only is it not the moral path, it's also not the strategically correct path. So John Brown didn't win, Martin Luther King won. So, okay, it's a...
John Brown didn't win. Martin Luther King won. Let's hear that one.
What?
Win. And not only is it not the
win
path,
what?
It's also not the strategically correct path. So John Brown didn't win, Martin Luther King won.
Hey,
So
Gavin, real quick, can you own slaves?
No.
Yeah, in America, is chattel slavery, have we done away with that? Oh, I think John Brown actually did win. Based to John Brown, Giga Chad Alpha John Brown.
Yeah, the greatest white man to ever live.
Literally.
How dare you disrespect him? For one, totally different context, totally different fights being fought. One, the Civil War, the end of slavery. The other, civil rights and like the end
That's
of
crazy.
segregation. So two.
That's a
very
crazy thing to
different
say.
Scenarios there, right? I think that even if you want to say that, nonviolence and pacifism was the only defensible route.
I didn't get no money for the
civil
fucking
rights movement,
crates.
even if you do hold that position, I think most people would agree that slavery was different. That people had a right to resist, including in violent ways, such as Nat Turner, right, and the multiple slave rebellions that did occur. No one condemns that, right? But John Brown, are you fucking saying that John Brown didn't win? John Brown didn't win? Are you kidding me? If you guys aren't aware, it was arguably the hanging of John Brown that kicked off the Civil War itself. Like, a lot of people don't realize that about John Brown. They just think he was some radical abolitionist going around, holding the Bible in one hand and a gun in the other and all that shit. No, his death literally was in many ways the catalyst for the Civil War. If you watch Ken Burns' excellent 10-part documentary series about the Civil War,
Natch said there was
the
a
first couple
bike
episodes are all about John Brown because he was so important, so central in kicking that actual war off. And again, just to what is your implication that the Civil War was won without violence? That
Chang thinks discomfort
was
is a
ended
loss. Yeah.
in a pacifistic way?
Dude, the only way to that I'm trying to logic this is Chank is looking at this from a public relations standpoint. Public relations wise, MLK is a more known name than John Brown. He's probably looked at more favorably historically, right? You get right-wingers to, of course, say, yes, we love MLK, even though we hate him. That's your marker?
Do you not know about this?
That's a crazy fucking statement.
War ever fought, right? Isn't it
Where is this
considered to be the bloodiest war
in American history?
In American history, right?
Yeah, not ever, because a lot of international.
Right, and I mean, going back in time, I'm sure you could look at the Roman campaigns or whatever. I'm sure they're bloodier, but you know what I'm saying? In American history, the bloodiest fucking war. The opposite of pacifism is what the Civil War was. The literal opposite of pacifism, and most people agree, myself included. It's one of the few wars in America that actually needed to be fought. Right? That we had to be done. Right? I mean, I don't think there was going to be a peaceful solution to the conflict that was fucking slavery, right? And the South succeeding from the country so they could keep doing slavery, right? No, that actually had to be fucking ended, and clearly violence was the way it had to end. Does Jake deny that? How are you gonna say that fucking John Brown lost and MLK won when they both fucking won, and one was not with pacifism?
we're gonna keep going. I'm just gonna switch games. I think we made some good progress today in GTA. For sure. But yeah. Time for something a little less stressful for me. Alright, that was a good Vanguard clip. Who else we got? Got Pep.
Uh, 2016 men, we all Diva Max.
They're pressing.
This is an interesting story. So, Kai Cenat has a streamer university. Someone was like teased for being gay or like calling himself a diva.
Bro, Diva Maxed. Ill. I actually, that might have been my Diva Max prime right there.
I say you're not a diva, you're a demon.
Honestly. LMAO, I'm taking notes of my...
Rebukes Keith Edwards. We got some Francesca clips. Who's that Tabitha woman? See, this is another one where I'm like, are y'all just trying to use Emma Vigeland for like clicks?
Majority Report, and he or Bernie Sanders is a secret Nazi. As long as they vote right and are a tool for progressives, I don't care.
I didn't see that.
And that was debated intensely on.
Yes, again, always. All right, let's see what this fucking shit is. I don't like Breonna Joy Gray, but I have respect for Amanda Seales. But it's rapidly going down. Something else she said a little while ago was also kind of fuck shit.
I do not believe that.
Like, I forget who she was defending. What is this? Hold on. Amanda Seales. Charlemagne. I don't know. I don't remember. But she said something else recently that a lot of other black folk were like, I don't know, girl. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? Well, hold on. Let's see. Oh, she's almost home. All right, let's get in a ball pit. Let's get in a ball pit run. At the very least.
Any truly leftist candidate is genuinely trying to win.
I don't really care if, say, like...
Oh, here we go. Now, of course, they're gonna fucking... what's her name? Brianna is gonna fucking... Oh, let me dunk on Emma. I knew I was right. Watch my show instead of her show. That's what it's all about for her.
Sanders or AOC go home and they're a secret Nazi.
White people always show their ass.
Your job in Congress, it's not that I magically think you're gonna, get the vote to like secure meaningful change, but I do think your presence exposes the failures of the system to those who aren't aware of it.
We watch every election this like false narrative that we're somehow doing a reset. It's not. This is a continual project of nonsense. He says, y'all calling me a sellout. I am a sellout. I sold out Yankee Stadium 3 nights in a row. And it's like, if I was in the audience, I would have felt so crunchy in that moment. Like, United States is not
I agree with her about Jay-Z, I guess.
sovereign. And that's the biggest lie.
There's an interesting. I've been thinking about this a lot recently. This question of sort of what's in the heart and mind has come up. It came up on a recent episode with Glenn Greenwald. It came up in a tweet by Emma Vigeland, who said something along the lines of, I don't care if Graham Plattner is a secret Nazi. We'll put the actual clip in here so I'm not misrepresenting what she said.
Wait,
something along the lines of he could. Should we just play it now? Because if you're gonna react, because I don't want to. I'm not trying to misrepresent anybody.
Play it.
But here we go. I'll pull it up.
Are you sure this is not bad faith?
Deliciously creamy. Protein indulgence.
DJ, we're leaving.
Is my old spice in there?
I think I'm gonna stay.
So that means I'll never see you again.
Dad?
Boy, I'm talking to my old spice, not you.
I've said this before. I don't really care if, say, like Bernie Sanders or AOC go home and they're a secret Nazi, but they go out and they vote for the right things. Like, we're talking about
you don't
politicians care? As I mean,
I don't know about that. I'm like, that's a. I think these are the lines that people are talking about. Some people care about that exact thing.
White people always show their ass.
I mean, so this is the question, right? Like, it's weird to watch how this, like, what matters.
Okay, so I seen some good faith people talk about that clip. Francesca Fiorentini, Vanguard Boys. Vanguard Boys brought up the old clip of Sam Cedar saying something similar. That's why maybe it's stuck in our head as an example, right? Maybe you don't use the word Nazi when we're talking about Graham Plattner. You could use something else. I don't care if they go home and they're absolutely deplorable people. Maybe they're horrible partners to their husbands or wives. Maybe they're fucking screaming at children on the lawn. But if they get into office and they go to Congress and they vote on these things, I don't give a fuck if they're fucking a Karen and demand the manager every time they go to the store or something. Something less, outrageous than they're a Nazi, because that would maybe inform the way you vote. I get it. But again, hyperbolic example. But we're not looking at it as a hyperbolic example. We're looking at it as if she truly believes it doesn't matter if people are Nazis.
The idea that what someone does matters than their actions. Right? Wait, go ahead. What was that?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This idea that what people do matters more than what's in their hearts and their mind is a concept that sort of resonates with me, right? Because so often the argument we get is like, well, AOC really means well, so we shouldn't, look too much into the fact that
You're using AOC as an example instead of Susan Collins. Susan Collins, famously always. I feel really bad about Brett Kavanaugh, but I'm going to vote for him anyway.
She says that she would support Hakeem Jeffries as speaker, or, she voted for the Iron Dome.
She says she's going to support Hakeem Jeffries as speaker because she doesn't want to fight with Hakeem Jeffries right now. That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. I think a lot of YouTubers are unforgiving little gatekeepers who have found a reason to shit on somebody who's doing better than they are, because Emma's usually very disciplined about how she talks. Exactly. And also, how come I'm not being invited on CNN or MSNBC anymore in her case? Because she used to go on those shows. She used to be invited. Glenn Greenwald, Aaron Monte, Matt Taibbi. Why don't I get invited anymore? How come I don't get the spot over there anymore? I'm mad. Now I'm going to rail against you. And I'm going to air out personal shit like it's news. Those other people that I just put on, and like the Tabitha Speaks and whatever, they want to get to the place where they're invited on. They want to be the Jennifer Welch. So what am I going to do? I'm going to shit on Jennifer Welch. I'm going to shit on Emma Vigeland. I'm going to shit on Hassan Piker. I'm going to shit on the names that actually get invited. You know why they get invited? Because they're actually fucking relevant. Okay? Scott Jennings. Why is Scott Jennings on there? Because the boss wants him on. You either get on there because the bosses want you on, or you get on there because you're fucking undeniably relevant.
home, but she didn't really want to. And so I'll say, in a weird parallel to what Emma's just said, well, I don't really care about what's her heart and mind. What she did was vote for an Iron Dome. But there's this perverse way that that's being flipped here, where it's the reason that I don't care, I will value someone's actions over their internal feelings, is because that there's like a process that happens in to out where people's desires that don't always manifest in life because of external factors. But if you start with a malicious desire,
Literally not true.
the idea
Like, it's
that
literally
external
not-
factors are going to push you to in a more lefty
literally not
direction
true.
is bizarre.
So let me tell you something, Brianna. When I decided it was time to go back to music, it was also because I felt like when I was doing like the analysis and geopolitically or, you know, sociopolitically, I felt like I was just kind of pruning trees. And the more that I got to the root, I realized, you know what the really problem of all of this is? Everybody's a fucking liar. That's the problem, is that we live.
Who are you? Who are you? Amanda Seals, formerly known by the stage name Amanda Diva, and Mendacious D is a Grenadian actress. Okay. Alright, folks, that's gonna be it. I can't watch a whole 40-minute fucking video of Brianna Joy. I'm sorry. I tried. Somebody has clips. Let me know who we rating. Pep Talks. Pep. Actually. Alright, we're gonna keep streaming actually a little bit. We're gonna keep going a little bit. Well, I don't know. Definitely not watching this whole fucking thing. But leftist gamer memes, I want to raid into them. And yeah, I appreciate y'all coming to watch. Thank you so much on this Monday, this lonely Monday. And yeah, this is actually a great account. Y'all would love it. So if you go on Twitch, I'm gonna raid in. On YouTube, I can't raid anybody. But I know Pep Talks is live right now. I know. And I woke up tired. I know. Thank you so much, Ghost Dog. Appreciate you. But yeah, so I'll be live tomorrow on this space. Have an interview. 2 interviews tomorrow. One of them's going to be pre-recorded. And yeah, Leftist Gamer Memes is amazing. Love the memes. And been watching their Twitch streams a little bit.
Let's shop and then rendezvous.
They just went to commercial.
2 p.m. Okay, it's not a heist.